Welcome to Conscious Reconstruction, the show where I have to get a new intro. Oh, and she wasn't ready. Look at that. Look at that.
She wasn't even close. She drugged that bitch from under her leg.
Yeah, that's what y'all heard. All that was her not being ready for the show. Not
like,
knowing how to be ready.
What?
Playing on her phone. Shame. Everybody, Marcus was ready.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put me in this.
Is it true?
Don't.
Were you not ready?
I was, but don't.
Okay, see,
don't
look at
put
so
me-
you
don't
were
make me
ready.
Part of this.
All I stated was a fact. I wasn't making you a part of anything. I said Marcus was ready. That's it.
I was ready,
Yeah.
but they ain't have to know that.
You didn't want them to know that the only person we were waiting on was Ash.
Could have been
Clearly, he
a
wasn't even waiting on me. He was just like, "Fuck it."
secret.
You know what? We're just gonna go ahead and go into Marcus' segment.
Marcus ain't got his book today. I missed that classic stuff. Bring back the book.
Don't do that. I'll talk about
She
you.
said, "Bring back the book."
Mm-hmm.
The book makes me work more. All right, so I got some robots for y'all today.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, so North Carolina State University. US up to some shit. So some researchers there have made a self-folding kirigami type machine, I guess. You call it a machine?
It's a kirigami,
It's like origami.
but not so.
I mean, it's just I can give you what it is. Like what kirigami is like I said, it's like origami. You're just taking a single shaded paper and shaping it and twisting it and cutting it to get to the design you want.
It's super complex. It looked like 3D art.
Okay. All right.
It do.
Well-
Somebody just made some stairs. Somebody made a palace with the kirigami.
No, what they did was basically there are sheets of material that automatically reconfigure into different shapes from responses to the environment or environmental stimuli, as they say. So basically, they can reform into two-dimensional shapes and three-dimensional structures. And yeah, that's what we got going on here. The shapes that they can create is almost infinite. It's not really a limit to what they can do. They also are useful for soft robots, for pieces and like joints and things of the sense. And making it so it's also temperature resistant because it uses heat to, as one of its main stimuli to activate the material.
So we made adaptive metal.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Oh, this is bad? Okay. I'm shaking my head, too. Oh, my God.
Why are we like this?
It's metal that can reshape itself.
To
Unlike
to go along with the cyborg,
or it's a
internals
material
that
that can reshape itself.
yeah, to go along with the cyborg internals that can reform it to repair itself. That's what you make it out of, the material that can reshape itself.
Mm-hmm.
Getting closer and closer to that, Terminator that wanted to kill all of humanity. But whatever, maybe I'm retarded.
Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Who fucking knows? Fucking crazy.
All right, let's jump over here real quick.
To what?
You said what?
Some more nonsense? Billionaires doing bullshit?
Nah, I ain't got nothing to say about the billionaires. I mean, they
That
still.
should be a segment. Billionaires doing bullshit.
They are always doing
We
bullshit.
should make that a segment.
Billionaires doing
We gonna
bullshit.
start that next week. billionaires doing bullshit. Cause they, I
you
mean,
in charge.
they usually doing, of course, because billionaires are always doing bullshit. And most of the bullshit they doing right now has to do with space.
The space race. That's actually kind of funny that the space race went from the government to billionaires. Says a lot about the space race.
I mean, they the only ones got the money that can pay for the shit.
It says a lot about the country.
Right. Yeah, that's it right there. It says a lot about the country.
Speaking of billionaires, Elon Musk got Grimes pregnant. Y'all know who Grimes is?
Who?
Grimes is this she's an artist. She's a musician.
Good for him.
He got her
Okay.
pregnant. It's just the weirdest. If y'all knew who Grimes was, it'd be weird. Y'all'd be like, what?
Is she like a
That's
famous
strange.
pop artist?
Yeah.
Good for him.
It was just the strangest shit in the world.
No, it's still strange, but good for him.
Got her pregnant. Her fucking child support check's finna be lit. They not married. Oh my god.
What if they together though?
Huh?
What if they stay together?
But I'm just
She
saying.
said, what if
they
she
don't.
like, what if they don't though?
Yeah, why you gotta go to that meeting? Why women like that?
Because
she about to
if they
get
don't stay
engaged.
together,
She about to get that
goddamn.
bread. It'd be just like Elon Musk.
Isn't it better for the baby to
I
have
mean, not Elon
a
Musk.
secure household with two parents?
Yeah, but I'm
Bezos.
not banking on that.
That's terrible.
I'm not banking on that with celebrities. What the fuck? That was just a regular Joe. I'd be like, damn.
No, Elon Musk. He did that
And
shit
then
on
her
purpose.
goofy ass probably gonna be like, I don't believe in marriage. Bitch, if you don't get your goofy ass out of here, it's always them bitches. Yeah, I don't believe in marriage. Oh my God. Believe in marriage at least this one time. When are you gonna have your next billionaire, Grimes? Let me know. But anyway, I digress. What's going on in science?
All right,
Unless she got
so
one.
this one's interesting. I'm only talking about this because it
And I
just
don't believe in marriage.
it
for a
caught me off
billionaire.
guard.
That was
'cause
billionaires doing bullshit. If y'all didn't.
billionaires doing bullshit. So baby powder. How many people we know use baby powder? You know, baby powder
Old
is a
people.
thing. Yeah.
One of my exes used to put baby powder on the toilet seat. I don't know why.
That's weird.
That's weird as fuck. I just
Before,
was like, why?
when you took a shit?
No, like just when she got up off the toilet, she would just sprinkle it on the toilet seat. I was like, why does she do that? She's like, I don't know. She's been doing it for years. I'm like, what is the purpose though? Like, is it? I'm trying to figure out the purpose. But go ahead.
All right. The reason I'm talking about this is because I found it funny that they decided to even talk about it. So baby powder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Baby powder and ovarian cancer risk. It's linked, but not strongly.
What does that even mean? Not strongly.
All right. So here's the bullshit, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's like, all right, you got this baby powder, you know, talc-based baby powder that, you know, people use. It's like it's linked to ovarian cancer. And women using it, you know, in their genital areas and whatnot.
You a grown ass woman still put baby powder on your coochie. You fucking deserve it.
Really, Ash? Really?
You didn't hear that last part.
What's wrong with putting baby powder on your coochie as a grown woman?
Because that's fucking strange. Why do you need to do that? Why it gotta be baby powder? Why are you still putting baby powder on your pussy? You not a fucking baby no more.
So for y'all ladies out there that still use baby powder, there's a 1% chance
You can get ovarian cancer.
that you can get ovarian cancer.
That's strange.
Yeah.
Y'all ever put a girl's pants down and be like, damn girl, you got that Johnson & Johnson on? Fuck yeah.
Shut up, Ash. Shut up.
I just want to know, like, what is the point? Just let me
Something wrong
know,
with
like,
Ashley.
you smell baby fresh, boo.
All right.
No.
So I feel like I've talked about this before, but there's been some advancement in it. I don't quite remember if I did or not. So they got the skin-like sensors that bring human touch to, you know, wearable tech.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, researchers have developed a super stretchy, transparent, and self-powering sensor that records the complex sensations of human skin. They call it AI skin, for short. It's artificial ionic skin. The researchers believe the innovative properties of AI skin could, you know, be the future for wearable tech, like stuff like Fitbits, your monitoring your health, video games, um, just general electronics, personal. I mean, like personal care and things like that. The skin, basically, human skin can stretch up to 50%, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's regular strength stretch, right? Yeah. Yeah, our skin got it. And then and this skin, or this artificial, this AI skin, has potential to stretch up to 400%. It's
What do they be doing with their time? God damn.
Now,
A whole lot of dumb shit, clearly.
like I said, it's usable for us, but then also it's usable for our cybernetic friends, robots, right? For like soft robotics, things that you would like those little nanobots I was talking about. So it can be like a soft, and they don't have to be rigid and metal, and yeah, they can reshape themselves and use this as like flexies. So they'd be like flexible bots instead of kill you. And then more sensitive things like grab hand, like robotic arms and things that need like soft grippers. It'd be like skin like touch instead of being like grippers got that hard rubber on it.
Wow.
Things like that. And then they're trying to shrink the size of the AI skin sensors through microfabrication to allow you to do things, to allow to sense things like biomolecules and things like sweat and stuff of that sort.
When they crush my throat to death and they break my windpipe, it could feel less miserable than if they didn't have the skin.
If you were playing a game
I'm
where somebody
excited.
did that, it would feel like it happened.
I'm excited for that.
You're excited about it?
Yeah.
Ash out here excited, man.
Oh, they take over the world. It's one less thing to worry about. They got soft hands instead of metally ones.
We could choose to be better.
Hmm?
We could choose to be better,
Yeah.
but we don't.
I could agree with that. We just made skin like stuff that's 400% more stretchier. Don't that sound like a commercial?
Yeah.
AI skin that's 400% stretchable than your skin. Get it today. I'm weird. Why y'all invite me on this show?
Because you're weird.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Is there any more science markers?
Yeah. Got some stuff about nematodes. So,
Nematodes.
Yeah.
That's a ugly name.
they're these worms, right? It's actually, they're nematodes, but it's nematodes for us.
Marcus, is the
What?
medical field making any advancements in cybernetics?
Medical field?
Mm-hmm.
No. What I'm talking about right now is talking about aging.
I mean, before them.
You said what?
I just meant in general.
Huh?
I just meant in general.
Oh. No, not really.
Just more robots to kill us.
I mean, all that stuff can lead to a cyborg, though, too.
Could they just put it together, please?
Oh, no, they're not going to put it together yet. Because if someone puts that together, then another country would think it's an act of war. That's a weapon. We got to get to a point where everybody's like, yeah, let's make robots. We're not there yet.
Can we get there?
I mean, we got all the components. We just got to put them together. Somebody going to be like,
Can
hey,
we
let's
get
put this
past
together.
nuclear weapons.
We're working on nuclear as our like source of energy, so I don't know how well that's gonna work. Nuclear fission, that's an infinite source of energy. If we can get that right.
I just meant like move past it in the sense of like onto like cyborgs as weapons, and not just more nuclear bombs. Can we move past our like, hey?
I mean,
maybe
we gonna get
world.
super soldiers before we get cyborgs. Super soldiers gonna lead into cyborgs because they create. Because you know the government's created things like exosuits and shit like that. And that's going to be the step towards cyborgs.
So you think that we're gonna get super soldiers?
Yeah, we're going to get super soldiers before we get cyborgs.
Why do you think we're gonna get super soldiers?
Because we're going to have soldiers that have exo armor and shit like that. And that's what's going to lead into, somebody's going to be like, oh, well, if we can just have this body, and have this body with the mind of a human, oh, it'd be unstoppable. And there you go. Now, the birth of the cyborg. Because somebody's going to do it. World War III. Cyborgs.
Okay. We can talk about World War III and Iran.
I don't need that war. I don't want that one.
So that's the one that looks like it's coming. We can keep it in science right now.
Okay, so
Keep it on a positive vibe.
yeah, let's stay on the positive swing. Cause this gives you a positive swing. Oh, Ash, you gonna hate this one. Okay, so basically scientists have identified the synergetic cellular pathways for longevity that amplify lifespan fivefold in nematodes, right? Now, the reason this is important is finding this, and if being able to apply the same thing to humans, it would be the equivalent of us living about 400 or 500 years.
How can we? We need to figure that out. Look at us. Look at you coming through with the good news. Got
And
the good news. See, Marcus, this
basically
what
they're doing is they're testing them, and they're messing around with the genetics in these pathways, because their lifespans are usually about 3 to 4 weeks. And which allows them to quickly go through the lifespan and like examine their lifespan, because it's such a quick situation. And now that they've like spotted them and pulled them out, they're going into like research with certain drugs to extend their lifespan, and also these pathways to be able to drag that lifespan out. And if they figure, like I said, if they're able to get that all the way down, then they could apply that to humans and extend our life fivefold, 4 to 5-fold. Us ended up with, living 400 or 500 years, like the Bible days.
Why are we being lazy?
You said, why are we being lazy?
We're not getting on that. Everybody.
Would you rather be a cyborg for 500 years or a human for 500 years? No, wait. Would you rather be a cyborg for 50 years or a human for 500?
Human.
Oh, okay.
It's the longevity I'm after, not necessarily the robot.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, if I'm only here for 50 years, I'm still not here long enough to see shit.
Yeah.
But what I would do is do the 500 as a human, and at 499, hit that cyborg for another 50.
I've been here for 500 years. You can change it. Ooh, people, all the old people.
I'd make so much shit. It'd be lit.
It's my 450th birthday. I want the cyborg suit.
It's like, my nigga, die already. You do something.
No.
It's like, I hate you.
No, because people wouldn't even know that I was old. And once I'm in the cyborg body, I'm not even gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna be real quiet about that.
I mean, once you in the cyborg body, it don't matter. I'm just talking about like you just living in your regular body. You just out here, like, nigga. Like, imagine like just how like our government is, and some people living for like 500 years. You holding that seat for a good, I don't know, better part of 350 years. Nigga, die already. You keeping shit going from years past that we don't even observe anymore. That's not even a law no more. Let that shit go.
See how I feel?
We don't even know what race is.
Marcus. You see that tinge of aggravation you feel? That's how I feel. Why are you here for 350 years? That don't make no fucking sense. But I digress.
But I digress.
Our age limits are raised.
Age limits or what?
Our age limits were
You
raised.
gotta be 100 to play the fucking lottery.
You gotta be 100 to do adult things. Like, you ain't go through maturity until you get to your first 100 years. Science has discovered.
That's crazy.
101.
I said that people, like, when they got into, like, mystery systems, dealing with, like, esoteric information, it's like, you had to be 50 at least to get into them damn, into
Presidents
those.
now, you gotta be like 150. Can't even run.
Can't even run. Why not?
You're not old enough.
Man, I don't think you should change the age for anything.
I feel like they will, if that was a thing.
Not if I
It
get
might not be to those extremes, but it might be like within the hundreds, a little higher, or within that first 1 to 100.
I mean, I feel like the only way, I think maybe change everything to 25.
You said what?
To 25.
Hey, you change everything to 25.
That's literally when our brains are like done forming. So that's probably like what they would decide. Y'all gotta wait till y'all really mature for real. Y'all to stay in school. All that shit would be mandatory. Y'all kids for real until y'all 25.
Facts.
You graduate your senior year, grade 15.
Ugh.
Add extra 3 grades. Fuck it.
That's all college is, an extended fucking adolescence. Think about it, like your 20s
Niggas
is
be
just an
going to college
extended.
today like 30.
Yeah, think about it, your 20s is just an extended adolescence. It's now like no one really gives a fuck about you for real, and you get to drink and take care of your own things. Yeah, like you still party a whole bunch, all that.
Unless you get out there and
shit.
start making noise.
Yeah.
That's always an option, but most don't. They just kick it and live, go about their lives. I think that's all I have for science, though.
So you got it?
Yeah. Yeah. Beginning of the year hasn't spurred too much.
Yeah, the beginning of the year always suck.
Now, if I knew we were doing, crazy ass billionaires, I would have had something else.
Yeah, that's gonna be the subject next week, please.
Yeah.
Them niggas done lost their mind.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I got a couple of things. One thing in science. Kinda. Sony made a car.
Sony did make a car.
And it looks pretty dope.
It's
I
called
want
the
it.
Vision.
Yeah. It what does it do? Has like TV screens. I think they're gonna have to like push in that one TV screen on the passenger side, because I feel like flashing lights probably would distract your driver. But as long as you push that in so it ain't really like coming outward, and I got a little headphone jack, that should be fine.
Yeah, because it pretty much gives a TV screen to the passenger.
Yeah.
And then you have a full, I'm assuming, touchscreen panel. All that shit's so like a one big panel that leads from, like you were saying, from the driver all the way to the passenger, and the passenger's TV screen is along with that panel.
Yeah. But no, it's nice.
Yeah. I think it was called the Vision S.
Yeah. You gonna get the Sony car, Ash?
It don't look as lit as the that Tesla truck.
Oh, so you think the Tesla truck looks better than the Sony?
I don't think it looks better, but I can't see what it can do.
I don't know if it's
Ooh, that front.
I don't know if it's an electric car or not.
The dashboard look dope as fuck. Can it fly?
I don't think so. I meant you said can it fly?
No, it cannot fly.
Ooh. Sick of these fucking ground cars.
Sick of these ground cars. What?
You
does
be
that
doing shit but
mean?
riding on the road. Being liabilities. I mean,
They don't be doing shit but being on the road, being liabilities.
I guess. How you started? How you put it in park?
No idea. All he did, all the video had was a girl drive the car out.
She was blonde, wasn't she?
No, she was Asian with black hair.
She was Asian.
Yeah, it was Sony.
Oh.
Yeah, so she drove the car
That
out.
makes sense.
Yeah.
And then she got out, walked away, and he just described the car feature and things.
They got a PlayStation 4 in there.
Probably do.
You probably can connect it though, or the PS5.
They just got a PlayStation in there, bitch. I mean, it looked good, I guess. It just looked like a fucking Honda Accord until you get into that bitch, and then, to be honest, it just looked like a TV car because the dash is like completely digital.
Yeah. And there's TVs in the passengers.
But how do you
back.
start this one? I'm really weird about. I'm really weird about my dashboard in cars. Like, I won't drive it unless I think like the dashboard is aesthetically pleasing.
Maybe it's
I don't
push
have
to
one,
start.
but I'm still weird about it.
It could
Is
be
aesthetically
push to start.
pleasing?
It could be push to start.
Yeah, but I ain't got the. It's nothing about a damn. Well, at least I can't see. That's like my weirdest things. Like,
Maybe it's on the steering wheel.
maybe
Out the way.
if you had to yell at your car to get it started, would you buy it?
Yeah.
I know you would. That'd be a good start to your day. You'd probably. Don't look at me.
You said I probably, and then you just didn't say nothing.
Oh, you'd probably be a little bit calmer.
Yeah. Wake your bitch ass up.
Yeah, see? There you go. That's
I want
nice.
a car that talks to me.
I want to talk to my car nice and sexy, like, so we can have a nice day.
So we can have a nice day.
Yeah. I don't want to yell at it. I want to rub the steering wheel and shit, like, hey, baby, what's up? You ready? Ready to get this mileage?
And the car's like, please stop.
No, the car.
Don't do that.
Why?
Don't do
My
that.
car.
Don't do that.
That's if it had Joe operating system. Don't touch me. What are you doing? I don't want no car with a Marcus operating system. What the fuck?
Why?
Because clearly, he going to be defiant the whole time. He just going to be chill, like, you running out of gas. He going to say it low as fuck, too. Quarter of a tank. What? Quarter of a tank. Damn. He's so hostile.
That is not true.
Yes, it is. You going to sigh. You need an oil change. You need an oil change. I can't hear you. Need a fucking oil change.
I think I'd be a great operating system.
To somebody that want to deal with that.
Somebody that want to deal with that.
I wouldn't be defiant. I'm loyal. I listen.
Yeah, you're not defiant. You just be. Defiant wasn't the right word. There's another word that's better, but I don't feel like thinking about it.
Lethargic.
There we go.
What?
That was lethargic. I want you to know.
That nigga say that shit every time you fill up. What? You ain't getting $10 worth of gas today? That's crazy.
I don't know what
The Marcus iOS. We're developing this.
That's wild.
Reading somebody's emails. Back to him like, damn, that's wild. You want me to read your emails? No, I don't feel like it. This nigga would tell you, I don't feel like it. Mm-mm. Why you didn't do that shit yesterday?
It was from Turbo something.
From Turbos.
They get a text message like, hey, it's that one bitch. Like, nigga, I told you to give me a number. Oh, my bad. I forgot.
She out there whooping your ass. That's crazy.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be with that. But what I'm also not with is the fact that we might be going to World War III. Well, not really World War III, but war with Iran. If Trump has his way. Because that nigga just does whatever.
Yeah.
Because clearly he don't give a fuck. He said, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Why should I? You're the president.
Right. It's
That
your job
is
to give a fuck.
Literally it.
Kind of in the description. You know.
I would appreciate if he cared a little, just a little.
Appreciate it. Just a little bit.
Like, I'm not asking for a lot.
But just this one thing.
Yeah, just can you not just go kill random people without asking?
Mhm.
And then y'all said it was an imminent threat. And then y'all had no proof of any imminent threat.
Mm-mm.
And then y'all started talking about shit that this nigga did 20 years ago.
Yeah, that don't matter.
What's up with y'all? Like, y'all did this for no reason.
That's cancel culture.
For real.
You know he's social media. Like, yeah, we're gonna cancel him. We're gonna get him canceled. Split up the shit he was doing 20 years ago. That nobody remember. That we was probably fucking around helping him do, for real. Because 20 years ago, that was Bush. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All the bullshit. Because I remember now. He was the one that Bush got together with to fight the fucking Taliban. And they ran the Taliban out together. And then they flipped on us. Like they usually do.
All I know is this nigga
I just have to
dumb.
read a little bit on it.
He dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You can't leave well enough alone. They just shot down a random plane. Clearly, these niggas is not playing.
Mm-mm.
And everybody like, oh, well, they're not gonna do damage on our soil.
Y'all gonna keep saying that. I'm matter of fact, I
I
want
feel
us
like
to stop
y'all
saying that.
believe that there aren't people that have come over here that aren't spies. I mean, there are definitely spies that live in the United States.
Oh, definitely.
Also, there are definitely Americans that live outside of the United fucking States.
Mm-hmm.
So, this just also makes them very vulnerable.
Mm-hmm. It does.
Why? Like, there is no logical reason for this.
People are stupid. This is what happens when your country's been on top for
But the craziest shit is
ever.
that I have to blame like everybody involved in this, not even just Trump. How you niggas listen to an impeached president? Why does an impeached president have the capability to still call drone strikes and be in the little room sending out airstrikes on niggas? Why does he still have that capability?
Yeah.
Should we be figuring out whether the fuck he's still gonna be president or not? And while we figuring that out, maybe we should suspend his power to just go kill people randomly? I don't know. Maybe that's not logical either.
The way our government works, he holds power until he gets actually impeached.
No. But my issue is, how about we just stop listening?
Because he's still president.
No. What you're telling me is about laws that he clearly don't give a fuck about. So why do we?
Because they do. I don't know.
That's my issue. That's why they're all wrong. That's why everybody is accountable. Like the niggas that he said, hey, y'all go hit this airstrike. The niggas that loaded up their jets, the niggas that dropped the bombs, all you niggas is wrong. Eventually, somebody's gonna have to be like, you know what? I'm not listening to Trump anymore, and I'm just not gonna do what he says. But everybody keep being like, oh, but he's the president, so we're just gonna let this nigga slow walk us into a war and fucking up the country and doing irreparable damage because he's the president. That's the most illogical shit I've ever heard in my life. Y'all niggas want this country to fail.
Possibly.
This country shows all signs of being like every other great empire and a lot of the other countries. Fucking moving straight into collapse.
I mean, all great empires fall.
I'm aware of that. And I don't have any issue with this one falling. I just think that we just hurrying it along. It's like no one is using any form of common sense. Everybody's like, you know what? We set this system up and he's not following the system, but we're going to just argue about why he's not following the system and try and use the system to make him listen.
Take into a whole nother situation. Maybe there is a world power and our time is up.
It probably is.
So if there's something that controlling this behind the scenes, well, America, you've had it for how long? Y'all done? Because, I mean, like you explained how you put it out there.
Yeah.
He's doing whatever the fuck, and no one's just being like, you know what? How about no?
Yeah.
Everybody's just letting it happen. So maybe this is the way we get ran into the ground.
I mean, I feel like.
I mean, right now, where our country is at each other's throat, our whole country is at each other's throat. We don't have no strong central power. Yeah, it's perfect time to fight us.
So, do you know the theory of the American Empire?
You said what?
The American Empire.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, for the people who don't know, it's basically that America has fostered all of its military bases and like influenced governments to basically create a modern day empire.
Mm-hmm.
So, my thoughts on that is we see lots of different countries, governments, and regimes coming into more and more turmoil and getting closer to like what we would call first world countries, moving into that direction.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's about to be like a whole just like paradigm shift.
I can see that.
Because realistically, only the first world countries have citizens that seem to be afraid to use violence to demand change from their government. Every other like third world country or country that we look down on, their citizens are more than willing to lay down their lives to influence change. And we speak a lot about like influencing change and being above certain things. But realistically, that's a lot of lip service. Like, I don't know how many things have really changed like in my lifetime that I can count on and be like, oh, this is what the government did and this is how it affected me in like a large way. Or this is how the government changed. Can y'all?
No. I mean, I think there's different factors included in that, though, when it comes to us doing something like that.
Why?
One, most countries that do those revolts and shit things and upheave the government are, one, much smaller. Two, they also, all their people are on the same terms. Our country is divided no matter what point in time you look in history. There's no point in which I could see that happening if the country itself was on a same level, or if our country was maybe like 4 states.
I mean, I believe that's a part of our country's ability or our country's strategy of controlling its populace.
Yeah, it's big as fuck.
No, not that it's big as fuck. I feel like that could be overcome. But the fact that we have a pretty equal poor class that gets shit on equally, but we divide everything up by the color of our skin, that allows the government to maintain a certain level of, it's not us, it's y'all doing it to each other, or that color person is doing it to you, or you blaming them for that. And as long as we doing that, we never really looking at the government like, you know what, y'all are really the bigger fuck niggas in this situation and y'all gotta go.
That's also a thing. So, I mean,
how you gonna say so I mean and just not say nothing?
I didn't really.
Okay.
It wasn't really going nowhere.
Marcus, iOS, do not depend on it.
So I mean, bro, we was having a conversation. No, I'm done. I respect it.
Non-responsive.
Yeah, but no. Also, how y'all feel about all that cartel shit we watched?
Oh, you talking about the Mexican government?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm mad this nigga said you talking about the Mexican government.
Yeah, cartel. You ain't know?
So you know there's a... I don't know if I want to call it a new cartel, because they call themselves new generation cartels, like how I was talking about, but they don't fuck with the regular cartels.
You know, I feel like Mexico is going through what we went through back in the day, but theirs is on a larger scale because theirs kind of runs the country.
Way worse. I'm not fucking with no Mexican cartel. Shout out to the Mexicans.
I don't even want to go to Mexico. They can keep that.
I had a question. What if like dude was saying how all the old school Mexican cartels and gangsters really were sending their wives and kids up here to have better lives, and they're natural born American citizens, but they're still, cartels.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that it could ever get large enough in the United States to become like a threat and do what they do out there?
Nah, Americans
No.
too gangster for that. America too cutthroat for that shit. Mm-mm. That can't happen.
Nah, like
Cause they be paying them like when we was watching those we was watching the videos and they talking about like hugs not bullets and shit. That made me think like the president is like played off. Cause I'm not sure how marketing works, but hugs not bullets
that don't sound about right. That don't sound.
don't sound like a defense that
Yeah.
I would be behind.
They wanted to get amnesty to the cartel.
Yeah, I think they letting that happen.
Yeah, like
and I don't know they little tactics or anything like
Like,
that.
it
But
could-
I'm 1,000% sure that their government is paid off too.
yeah, like their government is dirty. Everything about Mexico when it comes to their shit is dirty. So you can pay somebody off to get into the right position,
Mm-hmm.
or you can pay I'm pretty sure, like she said, government's probably paid off. So the cartel probably literally government, like I said, Mexican, government. And they just run around doing whatever the hell they want, and then you got random groups like, hey, we gonna challenge y'all for y'all dominance. We the new cartel. You said new age?
New generation.
New generation cartel. I don't know what generation. What's new about y'all generation? I don't know. But, we gonna challenge y'all for y'all dominance. And now y'all just down there fighting.
And they did a really good tactic, a really important one, which was getting the poor on your side. Because their poverty is way different than our poverty.
Mhm.
Like, our poor people are fat and have smartphones. I don't know no other country in the world that can boast that. If there's another one, let me know. But niggas in Mexico really be out there
Fact.
starving.
Fact. With smartphones.
Yeah, with Jordans too.
That
Let
should be
me know where
killing
that's
me.
like the best.
Like,
Got the best poverty in the world. my
it's so
nigga.
funny that you say that, because I was like, we was riding down the street one day, and I was just looking at the people down the street. I'm like, to be in the hood and be so poor, y'all niggas show is fat.
See?
I'm like, this shit don't make no sense. And it's
Kool-Aid
well,
fucking
y'all
stains
got
all over your
terrible-ass
top lip.
food. Yeah.
Yeah. You could go down in the store, Mock, and have $2 and get a good old fat man
Once
meal.
upon a time.
$2 could get you. Damn, you right. $1 bag. No, you can get
$2 gonna get you 2 bags of
can't.
Doritos.
That's still enough to be fat.
You know what this remind me of right now?
Hmm.
Like the way y'all talk it is like the United States is a big ass like mind experiment, mental experiment,
Mm.
where they're like, how far can we torture and push people as long as we can continuously give them material comfort?
Mm-hmm. That's the game everywhere, though. That's not just like an American problem. That's the game on you spiritually and mentally. Whatever gets you outside of yourself, so you think that I can tell you who you are, so you can buy into my game or whatever.
But I don't know if that's everywhere. I haven't been everywhere to like really like see that's how they operate. I know that's how Americans operate, so I know it's the game everywhere in America.
Yeah, but marketing is pretty much the same everywhere. So,
It's not true.
oh, okay.
I mean, I guess there's certain elements like which you market, but I guess I wouldn't say that. Well, I guess if you look at it in that aspect, then yeah, marketing is used on everybody everywhere.
But it's not. Well, let me say it this way: it's not the first time. It's not a new problem, I'll say, because mythology has been based off this for thousands of years, where the mythology says basically stop looking outward to solve these issues that you have internally and go inside and figure it out. So I'm not gonna say that's a new issue.
Well, I don't think that that's a new issue, but I think that our government is actively using that to see how
Yeah.
far they can push us without us revolting and see how can we move a large populace in a direction that we want to while also putting them under duress.
Well, think about it. When you go to school, do we learn to love our country, or do we learn to look at it as some weird skewed thing where it's like black versus white? And once you was a slave and I was your slave owner. You know what I'm saying? Are we proud of our, like, before, I would say before schools, I don't know if this is true. Obviously, I've never been around before schools were invented, but think about it. We're not taught to love our country. We're taught to think of it as a divisive place where somebody got it better than me.
Well,
Either are you rich or poor, or you black or white, somebody got it better than you.
They
somewhere.
tried to do both. I think they tried to make you love the country with the Pledge of Allegiance and having to stand for certain songs and things like that and being patriotic, and the 4th of July. So I think they try to make you love the country, but I think they try to make you also hate and dislike the people inside the country, so that way you look at the people as the enemy and not the country as the issue.
That makes sense.
I don't see that happening in, like, but again, I don't live in other countries, so I don't know if it happens. So because I don't know what their propaganda is.
Right.
I'm like, most
I know that.
like, what's that, like, if you look at like countries like China and things like that, like, I've never been there personally, but if you look at like the way their government is set up and things in that sense, a lot of it is unification.
Yeah.
So y'all are one people. Y'all are one people for the government.
And so that's their propaganda.
That's
so I could definitely understand that. And I guess what I'm saying when I say I don't know what their propaganda is I don't know. We might know like what the ideology of their thing is, but we don't know what that looks like in practice for them to like force that down your throat, or like how they like pitch you against, I guess, the rest of the world. If their thing is we're all one people, then they have to create some type of enemy, whether it be America or the other nations or something like that. Someone has to be the outsider, as it would seem in that situation, if we're all one and if you need everybody to like rally together.
That also brings us way back around to our conversation we had a long time ago about free speech, or freedom of speech not being freedom, or not being free.
It's not.
If you think about it in those terms, then freedom of speech just allows you to fuel the hatred and, you know, division.
I wonder what European propaganda is like. Like, because I know they just went to like Brexit and shit like that. So I wonder like what their like country is like, because they don't have like racial tension like we do. So I don't know what levers of control are being like utilized against them to like keep them in line, because I believe that all the major countries are using just different levers of control. Like China's manipulating through unity. I feel like each country is using their own levers of control, or all the first world ones, quote unquote, are doing that.
I think the UK uses immigration too, because they had a big.
I know that's what Brexit was about immigration.
Yeah, because they have a big thing about like they had a big war, like their history. They have big history with Ireland and shit with their immigrants and things in that sense. And
but their Brexit was so fucked up that
yeah,
like they just had to keep getting extensions. Like they just finally got it after they just got this new super conservative dude that kind of like made a deal or whatever. Or they voted him in, and so I don't know. It's just interesting to think like I wonder what it would be like to live in another country and see like
the functionality.
The functionality, and then also maybe being brought up in that country, what my world perspective would be. Because I guess I do recognize that while this country does try and use levers of like race and wealth as like its way to control its populace and keep everybody's eyes on like, well, you have more than me, so I got to get you, or you're a different color than me, so I got to get you, instead of like really focusing on like, hey, the government's in all our pockets and they don't really do shit for us.
Right.
So I don't know what I would be focused on then, but I recognize that at least in this country I'm allowed to like recognize that, and I know in certain countries you're not even allowed to like acknowledge
not to
the
say
bullshit.
that shit.
Yeah, like we could be over here having this whole conversation.
If you gonna open your mouth and say some shit like
all.
this, you better have a small militia behind you.
Yeah, niggas would be like at our door by the time this shit got on the air tomorrow. And so I guess I do recognize that privilege.
think that's the coolest thing about freedom of speech, though, is that everything comes with its good and bad points. Like, I think Jordan Peterson brought out that conservative and liberalism, one can't exist without the other, because he said Joe rights is my responsibility. And if you actually look at like conservative side, they're more about like being responsible, chilling out, like you can't have all this fun. And liberalism is definitely more feminine, where it's like you can do whatever you want, but they can't be without each other. Like,
Yeah.
you rights, you can do whatever you want. There's consequences to doing whatever you want.
Yeah.
There's consequences to being that way, but also it balances out the conservative side, where it's like you kind of got to let loose a little bit and not be so rigid.
Yeah.
So that's the thing about freedom of speech. Like, yeah, you're right. We can sit down here, we can talk about these ideas, which is super beautiful. But at the same time, it's always gonna be somebody that disagrees some fucking where.
Yeah.
And they're allowed to voice their opinion too.
Yeah, and that's
freedom of speech,
which is good.
I'm not about to be emotional about your opinion, because your opinion can change. That's why I'd be like, my opinions can change in 10 years from 5 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm never really emotional about people's opinions, or even my opinions.
Yeah,
I like to debate opinions, but that's just more so I enjoy the art of like debating.
Mm-hmm.
But it's never like really an emotional thing to me. Like, I don't really.
Yeah, because like 10 years from now, when we're in our 40s, we just gonna be like, damn, we was dumb or something. Like, wow, like we really was talking like that. It's gonna change. I'm not beholden to my opinions. I don't really care about my opinions that much. Yeah, there's core value things, but like opinions don't really. What the fuck? Who cares?
Pretty much.
Right.
And then the last thing that I really wanted to bring up. Actually, 1 second. So y'all know about the Ari Lennox shit.
It's so foul, but the comment is funny.
And so I'm less interested in talking about the comment, because I guess we all pretty much know that there is an issue with the way that black men treat and appreciate black women in this country.
Right.
And it has to do with like self-identity issues, lack of like self-love, a whole lot of bullshit that we could get into. But that's not where I want to take this. Joe Budden said that Ari was insecure because she reacted to the comment and took it to a place where she was like, why do we have to do this? And basically made what he called broad statements, saying that why do you have to make it a race issue, saying that other races don't do this, and they don't call their women dogs and equate them to animals and things like that. And so I just wanted to get y'all opinion on that. Do y'all think that she was insecure about reacting to what the fans said, or do you think that she was just realistically speaking on like a topic that we all know kind of needs to be addressed, but no one really like addresses it?
Personally, I think she responded to it because it hit a nerve. Like, outside of her responding just for it to be, just like speaking out against the comment itself, like, it might have hit a nerve with her. If it seemed like it hit a nerve with her, the way like her emotion was about it. And, that's what I feel like stemmed her response mostly. Cause I mean, what's name didn't even say anything.
Yeah, Tiana Taylor didn't say nothing
at all. She just, like, I mean, she approved. Like she thumbs up, or she commented, said something about what Ari said.
She co-signed what Ari said.
Yeah, for the most part, like, yeah, she co-signed what she said. But yeah, like I said, I feel like it hit a nerve with her in some way, maybe a life experience or something like that, or it might not have been personal, just how she was feeling, or she might have been in the mood, or anything like that. It could have been anything to make her be like, you know what, I'm gonna get on here and speak on this because niggas out here on some trash. Like, it wasn't like the comment itself wasn't necessary. People were just talking, being on the usual bullshit. That's my take on it.
Well, she definitely reacted, but don't nobody want to be called ugly, so I'm not gonna say she was right or wrong, but don't nobody want to be called ugly.
Well, not really right or wrong, but do you think that, well, because I was gonna ask Marcus because he didn't really answer, because you said that it touched a nerve, but do you think something touching a nerve makes you insecure, or does it mean that you can recognize the bullshit? Like, if something bothers you, does that mean you're insecure about it?
No.
Not
Like,
necessarily. Like
no.
if you keep hearing it over and over again.
It might just irritate you. Like,
Yeah.
like to jump off what you just said, like hearing something over and over, it might, like I said, it might have hit a nerve because this might have been something she
An
heard a lot.
explosive reaction.
Yeah, and like this was just the last straw. She's like, I'm tired of hearing this shit. Or like she might get comments like that, and this might have just been the one that was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna speak out on this. And she just like she might get comments like that, or might have gotten comments like that before, in which she just didn't speak out. She just ignored it or didn't pay any attention to it. And this one was the one. So no, I don't think it makes her insecure. It just she felt some type of way about it.
I don't think she was right, but I don't think she was wrong. Like I think people that cry on camera is weird in general. Like, cause when I cry, I don't necessarily want no one to see me cry. So, I
took it kind of like I didn't really feel like she was wrong with it because I feel like if you want to express yourself, literally what social media is for.
Mhm.
So do that. And then I feel like she was crying more out of frustration and being angry than more out of being like sad. Because it didn't seem like she was like sobbing. It just seemed like I'm angry and frustrated that this is something that we have to deal with. Or I have to deal with at least.
Yeah, but how genuine do you think it is for you to pick up a phone and continue to keep recording if you're that visibly upset? Because I don't think I've ever, I don't know, like that's fucking weird to me.
I mean, when the person that you're talking to is on the phone, then I think it's normal.
But if it's tens of, all right, so Ari Lennox has a persona, right? Let's just be real. Like, we don't know who the fuck Ari Lennox really is.
Yeah.
So she has a persona to uphold. So you know damn well what you're doing when you got tens of or thousands of people watching you cry on social media. That's just strange. I don't know. I just don't. Why are you still holding the phone up to your face? Why are you upset and crying? Like being mad, I guess. Even being mad, like I'm not about to rant to 2,000 people that I don't know about how I personally feel about a thing.
I mean, but
it's a different dynamic now. But
you just spoke to it. She's Ari Lennox.
Mm-hmm.
She has a appearance to uphold. So why wouldn't you use your platform to leverage your power and broadcast the message that you want to spread?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't think she was 100% right either. That's why I'm leaning each way. That's why I'm trying to prove, like, is this the right thing for you to do? It's also not wrong because you're still a human. Don't nobody want to, their ego roused like that.
I mean, I guess I don't think that.
I don't think she did nothing wrong either, but I don't think she did nothing right either. So
I don't think that there's a right or wrong in the situation. I guess.
Yeah, like I mean,
like I don't feel like you could have done anything right. Like you responding however you want to respond.
Yeah, that's why I'm like in the middle.
Right for you.
Like, yeah, you did exactly what you needed to do, but also it's weird to me. That's a personal thing. Like that's weird to me. You know, she didn't do nothing wrong, but it's also weird.
Because I mean, like, I would say like I would be upset if she was doing like that. Y'all remember back in the day when there was that dude on social media crying and talking about leave Britney alone.
Yeah,
that
shit was mad weird at the time.
Yeah,
and now
but
it was normalized.
But like, if she was getting into that like super hysterical bag, then I'd be an issue.
Yeah.
I'd have an issue. But she, through her being upset and visibly crying,
yeah, she had an appropriate reaction.
She had well, outside of the reaction, she had a very consistent point and message, and so. That's why I feel like it was more so anger, and like I've been angry to the point of like tears coming out of my eyes, and and when that happens, I'm more mad at myself for the fact that tears are coming out of my eyes, and I'm not crying because I'm upset. It's just my body is so charged full of energy.
It had to come out some way.
It had to come out some way,
Yeah.
and so that's why I gave it as like you just looked like your body was like expressing all forms of your anger. And you couldn't control that. Yeah. And I know that, like, when you crying, it makes you look softer and weaker. And when I'm angry, that's not the visage or vision that I want to portray to people. And so it makes me upset that I'm crying. So I'm sure that she was probably upset that I'm over here crying when I'm realistically frustrated and angry and trying to chastise y'all niggas. But now I look like y'all have really, like, fucked with me. So that's how I took it, I guess. It's because I've been in those situations where I've been mad to the point of like tears coming out of my eyes.
Right.
And like then you just gotta go take a walk because now you're crying.
You gotta walk it off.
Yeah,
You gotta go take a walk.
you can't be aggressive and crying. Face all wet. What you doing?
Face all wet.
Your face moist than a motherfucker.
Yeah, no, I'm not
Nigga,
doing
what
that.
is you doing?
Rubbed your face too much.
Yeah, so
Red spots and shit.
exactly. So no, I'm not with the moist faced and shit like that and arguing. But no, I get it.
Don't be swinging at me in your face, moist.
But I also feel like, but I wanted to bring up that it kind of happened again with Blue Ivy.
Mm-hmm.
And these two writers, there's one woman from Harper's Bazaar,
Mm-hmm.
and this black boy. I don't know what the little black guy's name is, but fuck you too.
Damn.
Yeah, they was on bullshit.
Yeah, because they went on to Blue Ivy's picture that she took with Meg Thee Stallion,
Mm-hmm.
and we're like, the dude was like, damn, it's gonna be terrible when the Jay-Z features kick in when she get older.
That's creepy.
And then the white girl is gonna chime in, you mean they already haven't? In some type of LOL or whatever. And he's like, you know what, you're probably right, but it's a good thing because she'll have that ugly duckling phase right now and then she'll grow out of it. Why are y'all talking about this 8-year-old?
Right.
Like,
Parents.
what's up with y'all?
Like attractiveness in a child.
Like,
Damn, she 8?
yes.
Ooh, she old.
So gross. Like,
But continue.
Like, what are y'all doing? And so, yeah, it's just, but I don't see people do that to, like, little white girls or little Asian girls or
No.
little girls of any other race or ethnicity besides African American and black. So it just goes to show, like, even this grown ass black man was comfortable, like, degrading an 8-year-old girl. Like,
Right,
what
bro.
inspired you to have this, like, thought, like,
you have a comment. That's why the whole comment on Ari Lennox or Tiana Taylor's or anybody's appearance really just is strange. Because why are you taking your time out today to comment on how somebody else look? I get it between people, maybe at the end of the day, but not about a kid. And not enough to
Right.
make conversation on. Like, real conversation. Like, you had to take your energy to comment on how somebody else looked.
yeah, I guess once the black guy realized he was wrong, he started to try and backtrack and apologize. No,
nigga, you felt how you felt about an
Yeah.
8-year-old child.
Right.
You,
You said your
already
words
did
already.
this. Like, we're not going for the, oh, my bad. No. You're a piece of shit. It's fine that you expose yourself to being a piece of shit, but we all know that you're a piece of shit now. I feel like that's what social media has also done. Allow us to see a lot of people that are pieces of shit and didn't know how to
no
hide that
shit
they were
talking.
pieces of shit.
Like I said, I would have never, like, if I was just mad, like, at the mouth, like, I'm never coming at nobody talking about I want to fight them from across a fucking keyboard. You in Minnesota, I'm in Illinois, or even if you just down the street. That shit would have never flown when we was, like, teenagers. Like, that shit is weird as fuck to me.
No, in the chat room, like, nigga, I'll fuck you
Nigga,
up.
I'll fuck you up.
Where you at?
Where you at? Michigan. Or, like, even if you was on
Nigga, I'm on my way.
149th, that shit is
Pull
just
up.
The
strange.
chat room was
Pull
strictly
up.
for trying to get some titty pics.
Yes. Nigga,
Yeah.
ASL, age,
Yeah.
sex, location.
Yeah, we just trying to see what's up.
Hey,
You
ASL.
niggas now trying to, like,
That was
be
it
real
back in the
gangsters
day.
over the internet. That
That's
is not.
the
We
funniest
were trying to
shit.
meet in real life. You niggas just want to stay over the internet. Y'all are
Yes.
weird.
Weird as fuck.
Niggas talk shit over
I
the
remember-
internet when y'all see each other. What's wrong with y'all?
Even, like, not even just with, like, aggression. Like, this one guy saw me in this store, and I was with Riley, and he was like, oh, you know, whatever, you look good, this, that, and other. Then he was like, oh, you got a Facebook? I'm like, what do you mean you got a Facebook? I just was like, you didn't ask me for my number, nothing else. You just asked if I had a Facebook. And you know what Riley said? I'm like, no, I ain't got one. Here come Riley. Yeah, you do, Ma. It's on your phone.
Oh, she just killed it. That's
I'm
terrible.
like, no, I don't. Yeah, Ma, look at your that big F. I'm like,
I didn't really shut up.
You
Shut
trying
your
I really had to come
Look,
like,
she just trying to be helpful. She
No,
like,
you
Ma, you forgot.
he was like, damn, that's crazy. I'm like,
You know what I mean? It's crazy. You came to talk to me while I was with my daughter. That's crazy too, huh?
It's crazy as
Right.
shit.
Crazy that now I had to curve you in front of my daughter.
Yeah, I had to curve you in front of your homie too, because the homie started laughing. I'm like, This is awkward.
Like, I don't know why niggas approach women when they with their kids. That's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Like, I would never approach a woman while she's out with her child.
Yeah, because you got to be smooth and shit. And the
Not
kids
even
is
that.
there.
Like, the kids is just standing there like,
Yeah,
I gotta try to
looking
entertain
up at
both of y'all.
you.
Like, I'm hitting on your mama right in front of you. That shit's awkward to
That
me.
shit weird as
And the
fuck.
whole
That's
time,
not
the little nigga
respectful.
just
Not
looking
at all.
Nigga just staring.
That's a complete lack of
Like,
respect.
who are you, man?
If like I'm hitting
Thinking
on
to
you in
himself,
front of your kid,
I'm
like,
telling my
I don't
daddy.
respect none of y'all, you or your child.
Shit just made me so uncomfortable. Like, you ain't asked me for my number. I still would have said no. But damn, what do you mean you on my Facebook?
No, women be asking for Instagrams or Snapchats now.
That's
what's your
creepy.
Snap?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give you that.
Not at all. So you want the filtered version of me? You're weird. You want the happy, glorious pictures of me? Oh, you're trying to see the pic? That's just strange. Like, what do you mean?
No, it's
What's
the
your
same. It's,
Facebook?
it's,
What's
it's
your
the same
Instagram?
thing as asking for your number because now I can message you.
No, it's
no.
not.
It's the same thing.
It's not.
That's what they look at it. I know it's
Oh.
not, but what I'm saying is that's how they
Yeah,
look
I know
at
they
it.
do, and I'd be like, it's not, and text me if you want me to respond,
Yeah, like, what do you mean?
because I don't even check this app for real.
I got Snapchat on phone, and I've never done anything on it.
I don't even have Snapchat on my phone. I thought it was there for a minute.
It wasn't.
And I'm definitely about to take it off because I don't use it for anything. But why would you ask me? I'm sorry that it just ended like that for you, but still, don't ever ask me for my fucking.
Everybody that I hear that's successful and got a lot of money
Mm-hmm.
and are doing well and is focused on mental wellness talks about taking breaks and getting the fuck away from social media.
Mm-hmm.
All you niggas that's stuck on social media, you might want to take some notes. Social media should be a tool utilized, and that's it. Y'all turned that shit into a whole life.
A whole lifestyle.
Right.
Fake life though.
At that.
Y'all
Yeah,
niggas
like-
don't want to be real at all.
Like, damn, you don't even want to know who I am. Like, you just want you want my happy pictures and shit like that. And even in his pictures, like, you don't know who I am from that dumbass shit. Like, how are you supposed to get to know me from from an ass pic or a fucking pretty smile? Nigga, what do that prove in any arena? Ugh.
You sound disappointed over there.
I was disappointed at the whole situation. Riley over here not letting me trying to get this nigga away from us.
Yeah, like Riley, why you ruining?
But like,
this
I
right
just
now?
squeeze her hand like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, like, I'm trying to.
Did she hit you with that ow, mommy?
she looked at me, scrunched her eyes. I'm like, you can't. Like, I got her in the car to explain, like, don't do that because you don't know if I feel unsafe. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, I just had to explain the whole thing. Like, don't do that. Even if I am lying to somebody else, at least I'm not lying to you. I had to give Riley that one. Like, I'm
It's not
not
a grown
lying
folks'
to you.
business.
Don't do that. Yeah. I didn't even want to give her that one because I'm like, that's dismissive. I'm like, I'm going to tell you exactly why I did what I did. Don't do that, boo-boo.
I'd tell her exactly why I did what I did, but I would also, but also when I'm talking, don't contradict me.
Mm-hmm.
That's just a general rule.
Just,
If I'm talking to anybody else, don't contradict me. You baby look crazy, I'ma act crazy. So we can play how you want to play it.
that is just,
My kids gonna know. That'd be crazy. Crazy Tony. Maybe happy Tony, crazy Tony. One or the other. Can't get both.
ugh.
I think that's all I really had was Ari Lennox,
Oh,
Blue
it's
Ivy
my
shit.
turn.
Oh, I got a little thing on the end just to tack on. So the UK is going through Brexit right now.
Mm-hmm. Brexit.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
What?
So Charles,
I ain't over Brexit yet.
Well, this is just the UK alone. Prince, I'm pretty sure it's Prince Charles, and that's the one married to Meghan, are stepping away from the royal family.
Mm-hmm.
They're like stepping back from the actual like I forgot exactly what it's called. It's like the actual like royal court,
Mm-hmm.
and being ahead of that and taking a step away, not being part of the just like the royal process. And they're gonna split their time between here and the UK, and they're just gonna live normal lives.
What do that even mean?
And they're gonna be
Basically,
they're separating
advocating-
themselves.
They're advocating from the throne
Yeah,
and removing themselves from royalty.
yeah,
So they're gonna go be regular people.
yeah, and they're also gonna financially separate themselves from the throne also. Yeah.
So they gonna have to get a job. Like, did this nigga got any skills?
I'm pretty sure.
What you about to apply for with the world?
He
What
got
you about to-
money. I'm pretty sure that they both got money.
Yeah, they
'cause
both got because she's an actor.
Yeah, she was an actor before she got married.
So she gonna have to go back to acting, cause acting money don't last forever. That's why you see these old ass niggas still acting.
Because
they ain't got no fucking
I
retirement.
understand that, but I'm pretty sure he got money.
Not if you no. The kingdom has money.
I know the
fill
kingdom
out a
has
resume.
money, but I'm pretty sure he has his own
From
money
doing what?
also.
From
I don't
probably
fucking know,
inheritance
whatever the
and
hell he
stuff.
does.
You get that when your mama die.
His mom did die.
No, she's still there.
Princess Diana is dead.
Yeah,
But the main queen is the one that is still
That's
controlling
not his
everything.
mommy though.
No,
His-
I know that's not his mother,
his
but she
inheritance
control
don't come
everything.
from her.
Her inheritance will
They
come from
got
her
other
mother.
resources. You don't think they don't start businesses and shit over there?
Bruh,
They
I'm
invest
pretty
in
sure
other
that-
things.
where's my phone at?
All I need to know is, are these niggas gonna have to get jobs? 'Cause they gotta get jobs. This shit is hilarious to me.
They're going to be just like you.
Man, she about to
With
be
your
in a
cover letter.
Nah,
Nigga, a cover letter is
not
so
even that.
trash.
No, but she about to be a motherfucking Fast and Furious 6.
Fast and Furious 10.
Exactly.
The royal race, nigga.
Exactly, the royal race. It's gonna be lit. Motherfucking.
I'm seeing that shit. I don't never watch a Fast and Furious,
She
but
gonna
I'm
be doing
seeing
cameos
Fast and
on-
Furious
So
10.
together they're worth $30 million.
See?
You gotta get a job.
Nah, you can probably just start your own business.
His net worth is at least
So you
$25
have
million.
to work.
He probably already has businesses.
Not
and
if you
shit.
have like employees and stuff. I read a book one time about businesses. It's like you automate your business enough, you don't have to really run that shit.
half
Like
of it-
McDonald's.
and
I
half
mean,
of it was
yeah,
an
that's
inheritance
true.
from his mother,
Mhm.
and then she's worth $5 million.
Princess Diana was only worth $5 million.
No.
Oh.
Markle is worth. It's Prince Harry, not William.
Oh, Harry, sorry.
Yeah, or Charles. Charles is his daddy or his brother. I don't
Charles
know.
is ugly. Sorry.
Charles is his father. He also he won't be getting the allowance from his father anymore.
You got an allowance.
He got an annual allowance, but he's still worth $25 million, which is partly made up from the inheritance he got from his mother.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, she's worth $5 million.
Yeah, they'd be good.
They gonna have to get a job.
Then they have to fill out the cover letter. Yes, my name is Meghan Markle, and the reason I want to work for your company is, cover letters gross me the fuck
Like,
out.
I mean, if you just think about it realistically,
Mm-hmm.
let's say they already have houses.
Mm-hmm.
If they're gonna live inside the United States and the UK, we have taxes on property.
Mm-hmm.
They gonna pay that. They got to pay whatever they got to pay to maintain their property in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
That's a yearly expense off of this non-growing income. That's $30 million. Y'all gonna also travel back and forth. That's not gonna be free. So y'all gonna just continue to afford this. What type of lifestyle y'all gonna live the same lifestyle? like all of that just don't make no sense.
It made sense to them.
I'm just saying they have to get a job, but I
they
think it's
still
hilarious.
rich. Like,
I just see like Prince Harry in the boardroom
uh-huh.
with a little suit going to meeting and shit. It's hilarious.
Them niggas is still rich. Whether the how 5 million, 1 million, 30 million, they still are very wealthy.
No. They're rich. You were right the first time.
Mm-hmm.
They were wealthy before. They left wealth.
Do you know how much it is in America to be considered wealthy? 150,000.
No, that's to
it.
be the 1%. That's not wealth.
That's wealth.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. That's just the
Oh,
1%
okay.
of America that has a lot of money. Wealth is generational. $150,000 can't affect your whole generation.
But you're still pretty well off. You're still pretty rich.
You
That's
are well
a
off.
low ass number.
You well off. That's good to be well off. Yeah, but if you want generational wealth, that's what. If you have $25 million, but your daddy still gives you an allowance, that's wealth.
That is wealth.
That's wealth.
But
No, he won't. His
He's
daddy
also,
said he's not doing that no more.
30.
Well,
Bet.
Charles was also he's also military, so he gets military money too. He's a Air Force pilot,
In the Air Force?
the British Air Force.
A little $3,200 a month.
I'm pretty sure he gets more than that.
A little 15K.
After rounding it in, it took them from what their whole thing to 40 million. Well, that's another 10 million right there. So altogether, with his piloting, her not doing shit, and
Her net worth right now.
Well, her net worth for $5 million right now, and his
the money that he had to debate before he left his family's house.
his inheritance. altogether, they're worth 40 million if you add up everything.
That nigga left his debit card at home. I got 30 mil in the bank.
What y'all hear about the Royal OnlyFans, I don't want to hear shit. Niggas out here got me fucked up. Granted, they not gonna be like regular people, obviously.
No.
But what I'm saying is, you went from
royalty.
They're still royalty. What they are is they're still nobility. They're still a royal family. It's just they're separating themselves from what they said it was the senior members. So it'd be the people in line to become take royalty and things of that sense. And they're financially cutting themselves off. They want to build their own financial
the throne. They're just removing themselves from all of world obligations.
I mean, it's not like he'd be anywhere near in line to catch throne anyways, because his father's still alive. His older brother William's still there, so he'd have to go through those two at least to catch throne. And shit, the queen is still alive. She has to die before their father even has a chance to look at the fucking throne. So, yeah.
All I know is Jay-Z has more money than them.
That is true.
That was your contract.
Beyonce by herself has more money than them combined. Rihanna by herself has more money than them combined.
I mean, most of the billionaires in the world
have
more money.
How much you have is what you fucking do
than
with
the royal family. The royal family's not rich.
Rihanna's not a billionaire. I know most of the billionaires are wealthy. Mm-hmm. And so I know most of them. And I know the royal family isn't beyond belief rich.
Yeah, no.
I know that's not a thing.
I think
anymore.
they're 100 million.
So wait a minute. So is Elon Musk wealthy, or is he just billionaire? How if he just didn't inherit any of that? He created that on his own.
You can create.
He created
wealth.
his own wealth.
That's going to affect his future generations.
Mm-hmm.
They're realistically not going to have to work. That money can sit in banks and investment areas and continue to generate millions of dollars by not doing anything.
Mm-hmm.
So they would be fine just living off of what that. So that's what makes it That's what makes it wealth. Being rich means that your kids, and maybe your grandkids, y'all gonna be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, it's looking real iffy.
Mm-hmm.
It's back to shit. I hope we had made some wise decisions and invested in ourselves and are on a better mental space to go towards wealth. But yeah.
Okay, so let me take some things back. The whole royal family combined is worth $88 billion.
See? And they left that. And
they walked
left
away.
that.
Queen Elizabeth herself is worth $500 million. And then boom.
Yeah, see, they left that. $88 billion to $30 million.
So
that's wealth and rich.
That's what Bill Gates. That's like what Bill Gates gonna do to his kids. They ain't getting shit. He leaving them.
No, that's what
million.
they're doing to the kids. These niggas chose that. These niggas picked that life. You
They
paupers.
chose. I can't knock for it. They just want to start their own wealth. They want to build their own thing.
That's so fucking self-inflated and ego self-serving when your mama gave you half of your motherfucking money. Your mother gave you half of the $25 million.
Mm-hmm.
So what did you start on your own when you start off with half of $25 million? How much of on your own did you really start off with?
And
what? No, you can't say I want to do it on my own and to take all your.
Can. It's mine. If you gave your kid this TV,
then he didn't do it on his own.
But then whatever he chooses to do with a TV after is on his own. What if he changed it into a smart TV? He built a smart TV or whatever. You gave it to him. It's no longer yours. It is his, and he transformed it into something else on his own. There's nothing wrong with that.
That's impressive.
Yeah, what are you about to do?
But it's not on your own.
Yeah, you got a little help.
You didn't build a TV.
But did you get any help from building the smart TV from your dad? Not really.
But you did. You got the fucking TV. Did you build the TV by yourself? No.
But you still did something on your own.
You did. So that's impressive.
Something.
Yeah, but it's impressive, but it's not like you started from the input. That's why I feel like it's self-inflated. It's like you want to feel good about yourself and say, we're going to be on our own.
Yeah, let them have it.
Your wife is going to be on her own because she realistically made her $5 million. You, my good sir, you had a allowance from daddy. So, on your own, when daddy was giving you money, how old are you?
That's not egotistical, though. It's saying, like, I'm trying to embark on something. And he might even acknowledge that. But I don't think there's nothing egotistical about saying, like, nigga, I'm trying to make my own. There's nothing. Come on now. Come on.
It's self-inflated if you don't leave the money there.
Who in their right mind would do that?
Then don't take the claim that it's on your own. Be honest with yourself. I want to do something.
I don't think he even took the claim on our own. I think we're just saying, like, who took the claim on our own? No, we're just walking away, guys. We're saying that.
Marcus
I don't
think
think
I'm going
the average. Okay,
what I mean when I say on their
person.
own, it's not like, oh yeah, I'm coming from nothing and
yeah, he ain't gonna
I'm building.
like
No,
started from
what
the
they're
bottom
saying
out
is
here.
they want to be able to stand alone without
royal influence, and
the royal
implications.
government and
That's
the royal
okay.
support.
That's completely
That's
fine.
what they're
I'm
talking
with that.
about.
That's
It's
right.
not like,
That's
oh
what
yeah,
they
I
wanna
love
do.
like not. I didn't mean it that way.
Yeah, you're not self-made. It's like the way
No,
I treat it, it's like
they
you
weren't
did
saying it
not-
like they were self-made because I mean they're like stepping away from the royal family, they're stepping away from the money connection. So at that point, whatever they do with their money, it has to be good because they have they don't have those funds that used to be coming in just from the royal family. It's not an endless flow anymore. So now they have to flip their money, invest their money, and put their money in spots so it can continue to make more money. And if they can't do that, well then, I don't know. You better go back to daddy and see if he gonna help out.
Papa, I've ran out of my $30 million.
I fucked it up.
He better say Papa.
Yeah,
too.
like, does he have any business of his own, or was he just in the Air Force?
I'm not sure. I didn't look into like his businesses and whatnot.
I was just wondering if like the royal family like had like a little like business.
I'm pretty sure they got like
owned or
money in
something.
things and whatnot.
Which is funny because now we're talking about World War III. Wars are very profitable. He might have his hand in something like war, like sometimes I think is it Reebok or Adidas? They had their hand in the Nazi war.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I wonder about things like that.
it's really profitable to like supply uniforms and
Yeah.
shit like that. I mean, sometimes it's profitable if you're supporting. It's profitable as long as the country that you're supporting either
winning.
has the money or they winning. If they lose and you still got a bill,
Oh, remember that movie Lord of War?
yeah, that's my shit. Nicolas Cage over there getting everybody the yoppers. Did he get killed at that? Yeah.
No, that nigga walked away scot-free. Remember the general that was buying the guns and
Oh,
stuff
yeah.
from the CIA got this nigga out. And he
Yeah.
told Ethan Hawke exactly what was going to happen. I think you're going to get a phone call in a minute. Bring, bring. He met the general outside. That's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a really good movie.
Yeah.
His brother the fuck up.
There you
That's
go.
what happened. His brother fucked it all up. And that's why he
His
got
brother
fucked
fucked up a deal.
Yeah, and then
He
that
got
spiraled everything into
went
like
down.
a bad way.
Such
Brother
a good
was
movie.
a cokehead.
But no, because remember, he tried to get him out. He got out, and then he brought him back in. So whose fault was it really? Because he brought his brother back in that shit. He got clean and everything. And then he came back when he was clean. He was like, I need you, Yuri. And he brought him back in. So whose fault was that really? And then remember, oh, shit.
Nah, if you coming to me when you were
No, he didn't come
clean,
to him. He left.
But then you said you need me.
Yeah, if Marcus was like, or whoever running the operation, Marcus was like, hey, fuck up. I need you to come back after you clean. I need you to come help me run these guns.
Okay. It's my fault for doing coke. He
Wait,
didn't say come help me sell this coke. He said come help me run guns.
But that's not the reason why he did what he did at the final moment of his life. He did it because he was seeing those kids get shot up and shit. He was seeing just like innocent families getting shot up by whoever he was supporting at the time. So he was like, we can't do this. Like, I just ethically, in my moral compass, I can't do this. He was like, yo, let's just get these fucking guns and let's get out of here. And then Yuri was like, I got a conscience, and blew up the supply. That's what happened.
If you had a conscience, you should have never started it.
I don't think he did. I think he was just helping his brother.
No, you should have never helped. I'd rather you never start helping me than you blow up my fucking supply and fuck me in the middle of this deal where niggas are gonna try and kill me.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's why that story is so compelling. Like, why did y'all start this in the first
Like,
place?
I can do this by myself, and I'm gonna figure it out. You blowing the shit up, it's gonna make everything real bad for me.
That I didn't understand.
I don't need that. If you didn't want to do it, you could have said no.
Yeah.
After you got clean, you could have been like, nah, I was doing the drugs because it made me see the kids. I don't really want to do
That's the
that.
compelling part of the story, because remember when he kills the dude that kills. He was in the Ukraine. He kills the gun runner that killed his uncle.
Yeah.
That's the compelling part of the story. Who's right and who's wrong? You know what I'm saying? What is this moral ground that we on, selling guns to both? Like, the whole story is based off of just your decisions that you make.
See, I'm a big believer in no right and wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just upset with Yuri for accepting to do the thing after he got clean and then being a fuck up. Mm-hmm. Bro, you got clean and you already knew that you was having bad feelings about all of this negative shit. So you've already know that you feeling that way. Why tell me yes and then fuck me?
Because his brother needed him.
But then I'm also your brother and you fucked me. So which one is it? My brother needs me. I'm going to fuck my brother. What?
Yeah.
No.
Apparently they go hand in hand.
No, they don't. Don't fuck me. Just go away. Just tell me no. I'd rather you just
That's
be like.
still a good movie. Just because of that shit right now.
It's
We
an amazing
debating
movie.
that shit
it's
now.
It's an amazing movie. It's a great movie.
Because when it happened, I was like, huh?
I was so mad at him. I was like,
because he had so many situations where he turned his head. So it was like, what made this one the
like, bro,
one
why are you like this?
to made you be like, no, not today? It's so many like
fucking up the church's money. Niggas out here fucking up, tripping. Like, no, but that was a good movie. I like Nicolas Cage as an actor.
Me too. Because this nigga could go far right where it just be the greatest thing ever.
Mm-hmm. And then it'd be some trash. Hey, so I think that Nicolas Cage at least got 5 classic movies.
All right.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Lord of War.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of War is really good. I'm going to say National Treasure 1. The
all right,
other ones are a little.
Yeah, I'll give you one.
You get one. You get one.
Just one. I'm not the franchise, not the other installments. Just one. Isn't it Braveheart that he was in?
Not Braveheart with the dragons?
No. It was some old medieval movie he was in.
Where he was a vampire? No, that's old.
Yeah, that sounds super old. What is that
He was
called?
a vampire. I think it's called like Vampire's Kiss or some shit.
Vampire's Kiss. That sounds whack.
It's an 80s.
It probably was whack because you know how he be getting down.
Nicolas Cage do anything.
He
Take any role.
But I would remember watching.
He did take any.
I was
You know.
watching-
Oh wait, hold on. I'm sorry. I gotta put this out here because this is just funny.
What?
Nicolas Cage.
Face Off.
Face Off. He was talking about that last week.
Yeah, that was the movie I was waiting for you to say. But Nicolas Cage net worth $25 million.
25.
Don't look at me like that.
So you see how many movies Nick Cage got to keep doing
Can maintain his
to
25
make-
mil.
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay, look.
Exactly.
To be fair, if half these movies
Oh, like Kick-Ass.
were great,
Guys, yeah.
Yeah.
That Guys is a good one where he did good. But his style of acting, I think who was speaking on his style of acting? Damn, I forgot.
okay,
I want to
look.
say Ethan Hawke. But he has a specific. I'll be
Ethan
watching.
Hawke?
What movie? He was in Lord of War with him. The cop.
Oh, because when you said Ethan Hawke, I went Stephen Hawking's.
I'm
And
sorry.
I was like, oh, I knew that's
I
not
be
who you
knowing
meant.
actors and shit.
And I was like, I'm pretty sure Stephen Hawking wasn't talking about Nicolas Cage.
But anyway, one of them niggas was talking about how he acts and why it works so well in certain arenas and not so well in other ones. Like if you watch The Family Man, this nigga what happens is he goes through a glimpse. So he's this rich, powerful dude. He about to make $1 billion merge on Christmas Day. but he wakes up with the girl that got away, and they got a family and shit. But he still retains his memory from the $1 billion lifestyle into living in fucking suburbia. This nigga freaks out so well. And the way he like go after this girl at the end is so over the top. He just yells in the middle of the airport about the glimpse that he had. Like he just start telling her, like, we got a kid in Jersey and you a nonprofit lawyer.
Okay.
How he does that shit, like he just it's just relentless and it's over the top. It's just, it works in some situations. I'm glad we had a bonding moment over Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, we did. That was random.
Nicolas Cage, man. He's done so much great.
One of the best actors in the world.
So much terrible.
It's one of the ones
That
I
work
know.
probably be worth more if, you know, he had half these movies were better.
No. He like it like that.
He
Then
do.
what was that movie with the little kids in there? And that sounds gross.
Oh yeah,
With
that's
the end of the
all.
world. You know what I'm talking about?
With who?
You know I like them kids.
The world's in it, and the little kids have like like at the end.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about the little kid. You talking about the 3 little boys? End of the world. Oh,
It was a boy and a girl, and what happened is they end up saving the boy and the girl, but then it's like an Adam and Eve story, and it's creepy as fuck at the end because they like 6 or some shit, and they send them to like a different planet or something, or do they stay on this planet? But anyway, they the only 2 people alive is the boy and the girl, and they're like 10 or something. And we all know, like, at the end of the day, like, one day they're gonna have to. It was creepy. What is the name of that movie? That
I have
was
no
a
idea
shitty
what you're talking
movie.
about.
Damn.
No idea.
Well,
That's okay. I mean, it's gonna have to be. I mean, you can't make them know.
Yeah, can't make you
what if
remember.
niggas
so.
was just like, nah, I'm not
Nah.
repopulating the earth. The
That'd be
fuck
alright.
for?
Yeah.
It'd be like that.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you the biggest advocate for Earth, but as soon as somebody don't want to repopulate
No. I'm the biggest advocate. You're right. I am the biggest advocate for Earth.
it. Mm-hmm.
Big reason why I think people gotta go. Just not me. I'm just trying to see what happens.
Oh.
Y'all be tripping. Misbehaving. Acting bad. Not trying to build this sky chimney.
That shit
Man.
is funny as fuck to
All right.
imagine in my head.
We really should build
It's
this
so
sky
fucking
chimney.
funny. Because it's built out of bricks in my head.
Mine's too.
Big red fucking
Yup.
bricks that Santa Claus.
Yeah, it's a big ass red chimney that goes
It's
out
a
of the
fireplace.
Yeah.
That shit just
And it
look
got a
real
conveyor
homey.
belt that go right into it. And that's a sky chimney. It's just hella big though. It's like the conveyor belt is like a street length long, wide.
It's just hella big.
Yeah.
It's just a really big sky chimney. Nigga, you got to be 8 years old, and the teacher asked you, how are we going to solve climate change? And Tony comes up to the front of the class. Okay.
Hell no.
You got 3 sentences because that's a paragraph. Got to write a paragraph, 3 to 5 sentences.
Sky chimney.
Yep. Big ass sky chimney.
I can figure it out. I mean, we can do it. We have the technology to do it. Why won't we,
Yeah,
Marcus?
nigga, all we need is bricks, apparently.
I mean, clearly the real one can't be made out of bricks, Marcus. But in my head, that's what it's made out of.
Could probably build it with that whatever the fuck those nanobots that reconfigure themselves. Could probably build it with that. That wouldn't be a bad idea. And some super stretchy skin.
And
Yeah.
that heat-resistant metal that we brought,
Look.
that's, that adapts.
He
So,
been putting the pieces to your fucking sky chimney together. You've been focusing on the wrong things. Worried about cyborgs and shit. He didn't give you the pieces to the sky chimney.
So.
What Kanye say? You focused on the wrong things. The wrong things.
So you gonna help me, Marcus, put this sky
He
chimney
already
together?
did.
No, he gave me the pieces. I need him to help me get that concept together. That so we can take it to whichever billionaire you think is crazy
This
enough
is what
to
it's
get,
like asking
fund
your
it.
car to do something with the Marcus iOS system.
The more I think about a sky chimney, Don't laugh at my size.
I'm
Right?
sorry, it's funny.
You don't think it'll work, Marcus?
No,
Why?
because look, all right. So look, this is what's going on in space, right? So think about this, right? So we got a regular chimney.
Mm-hmm.
We burn stuff. It rises. It leaves. It goes out into the atmosphere, right? Or into the air.
Yeah.
Now, there's nothing.
There's no atmosphere, I know. And no air to pull it.
There's nothing to move it. So it'll just be there.
What, smoke?
I mean, it would just be there.
It'll just be there floating around the planet.
So if we put a vacuum, or if we put a fan at the top of the chimney that pushes it out, it'll always
What is the
perpetually
fan
move.
pushing?
The smoke.
With what? Was that how do fans work? They suck in air and they push in air.
What if we put a fan in the middle of the chimney?
Like the thing that's over your stove?
How strong do you think a fan has to be to push all that shit out of the chimney and far away from the planet so that it doesn't like get caught in our atmosphere and just completely block out everything? It'd be worse than global warming.
Why?
Now he's trying to figure out the flaws of his sky chimney.
Because
you should have been thought of this.
Now, right? Instead of things getting into our atmosphere, we have it's like a double. It's like double now because now we're not getting the light. We're just getting heat.
So what if we
Because I don't know why I ain't never think about this before, but I'm like, if you just like throw it into space, it ain't going nowhere. That's why we got this problem with the satellites right now. They're just in orbit.
Oh, so I'm not throwing trash into space.
I understand that. But all that soot and all that shit is good to go
what
into
I'm
space.
saying is, what if we have the fan right inside of where the atmosphere is?
Okay.
And so then we burn everything in the enclosed incinerator chamber.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have an air burst. At the bottom, we have air tanks that shoot the air up. The fan is moving because it's still inside the atmosphere. And then we open up the sealed hatch at the top that now releases and pushes it down so it's moving.
Once again, how far do you think those fans in an airburst really gonna push that shit into space?
It don't have to push it too far because as long as it pushes it in the direction, it's gonna keep going. Are you meant to call in our atmosphere, in our orbit?
Come in, eventually it's gonna stop unless it has enough force to keep going.
And that's when we get back to rockets.
Yeah, and then since our planet rotates, all it's gonna do is just
circle it. Yeah.
So we're gonna start with a ring like Saturn. So now we're gonna have a ring.
No, we should definitely do this.
If this scenario has proved anything, is that clearly he's the grounded one. You are great at big ideas, but you need help with details.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I've always been like that.
It's grand ideas, bud.
That's why I'm good. I know my strength in the team.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the big picture guy. I'm going to give us all the big picture ideas and everything like that. And then I need the other people to break that down. But, all right, these things don't make sense. And these are the details of it. And then we can follow that plan.
Mm.
I'm with that. I know my strengths and weaknesses. So, now that I have to figure out a way to push it out and then far enough. So there's no way that we could build a chimney that would break our atmosphere.
No, the chimney would break the atmosphere. The problem is getting the stuff far enough away from the planet in which it doesn't affect our sunlight and basically cover our planet. Because if all that gets in between the sunlight and the planet, we're not getting sunlight. We're just catching heat, and then our planet's keeping the heat, and now we have a double layer of you not going nowhere.
So this is gonna sound crazy, but hear me out because I got 3 different ideas right now. So idea
If you
one.
preface it, this is gonna sound crazy.
Because the first
I'm
one is
scared.
crazy. First one
Ash
is
is gonna be crazy. You ready?
What we do is we attach a giant, like, whatever those membranes that you just told us about, that skin, that elastic skin, we attach that to the top of it. And basically like a giant trash bag, but made out of all of that. And we fill that with it. And then we just send it away. For all of our listening audience, I want y'all to know that Marcus is a bitch. That's fine.
I don't know why.
They didn't hear what you said.
That's not right, audience. I don't like the statement he just made about my fellow podmate, Marcus. Had to make that clear.
No, Marcus gonna debunk my fucking sky chimney.
I didn't think about it till right now. I told you.
Thoroughly, too.
After a year of me talking about this sky chimney.
He had to make this nigga pause the episode, too, how he just was like, here you go. We've been talking about this for a whole year. And
Don't do
just
that.
went to
That's not
shit
why
in
he paused the
5
episode.
minutes.
Don't do that.
A whole year. A whole year. A full year, too. About this sky chimney. How we could get rid of trash.
Damn, the way he just
Alicia was on the show. Well,
she was.
For weeks while I was talking about this. You know, you just sat there and, yeah. We're not going to do that, though.
Like I said, you act like I was sitting here this whole time just letting you talk like, yeah, I'm going to wait.
You was.
I'm just going to wait.
You going to wait until
I'm just going to plop my
January
dad.
2020.
Right. I'm like, I'm going to let this nigga do this a whole year, and then as soon as
I'm going to wait till 2020
I'm going to wait till the episode and be like, you know what?
You did.
Gotcha.
You're rude as fuck. Like, you two people you're rude.
Really?
You're a rude bitch.
Really?
Yeah, why are you like that?
All right.
That's what you did.
Okay,
like, you gonna let me be out here saying this, and you the science man.
It never crossed my mind.
And you never challenged me one time.
No, because
But
realistically...
anyway, back to, no. We're gonna go through my ideas. Because now I'm upset. So idea one, the new skin trash bag that we attach on top of it.
You said a skin trash bag?
About that.
I ain't never drank enough wine to not hear what the fuck this motherfucker just said. The skin trash bag.
You know that one that
Talk about material that I was talking about earlier that stretches the 400.
How did it turn into a trash bag? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Oh, so basically what I want to do is build it into a bag shape and attach it to the end of the chimney. So that way when we shift all of the stuff, since the issue is it would just like cloud our sun, load it all into there, and then once we have one full, we need to make it big enough that it can hold at least 5 tons. It stretches.
So 5 tons times 400%. So when you build this trash bag, it has to be 5 tons at its capacity, regular stretch.
No, 5 tons times 400%. Then we're gonna get rid of, fill that bitch up, and then we gonna launch a rocket and move it.
Oh, okay.
Or, since we got satellites and space droids out there, we can have one of those grab it and just take it and be like our trash man outside. We really should just do that and have basically someone that comes, grabs it at the neck after we reseal it, and then
have
takes
them
it.
play Gorbatron on this one.
Yeah. So, what do you think?
Grabs it at the neck.
Is that possible?
This has turned into a whole Sci-Fi Channel movie. I just want you to know. Now we figured out the details of this story.
Hey, I'm making it work.
Clearly.
Yes.
See, it works.
Someone's gonna have to grab it like a garbage bag.
No, we're gonna make a droid that does that.
Oh,
Yeah.
On paper.
Yo, I want to see this movie. That's all I can
It's not
say.
like realistically.
Oh, what I wanted to tell y'all, and what we should talk about after the podcast. If there's any like creative goals and things like that y'all have, we should figure out what those are, and figure out how we can like start focusing on executing those as well. So yeah. But yeah, continue. So you said on paper it works.
Yeah, on paper it works.
So poke holes in it. What's wrong with it?
Well, when you get the money to do that, go ahead.
So could a
Because
billionaire
ain't
pay
nobody
for it?
gonna put the money up for
Could a
it.
billionaire pay for it?
Maybe.
Okay. So billions is possible. If you got billions, you can do it.
Possible.
See,
It depends though, because it depends on how much of that material we can actually make now. It depends on the raw resources we have to actually take to make the chimney itself, and the raw resources we'd have to use, and then it'd just be money because, like I said, it's always money to fire rockets, and
well,
firing
if we
rockets
don't
not cheap.
fire rockets continuously, I say we fire one rocket and use cell-powered droids that will grab them and take them.
All I heard was money on top of more money.
Yeah, but that's not like
I understand what you're saying,
it's a one-time payment versus.
but what I'm telling you
having
is
to keep paying for
the
it.
issue is money. It's always money.
Okay, but that's at least that one's so physically possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's I'm all right. See,
Like I said, it seems plausible on paper, but like I said, you have to make sure we'd have to have the resources for it, and we'd have to have the money to back it.
Yeah, because my other idea is with building a suction.
Listen, what?
Can you build a pump or in space?
I don't know.
So we stick a pump on the top of it. No. And I'm truly trying to figure this out. I don't want it to not work. So yeah, had me out here. You a real bitch. Like I should fight you.
I want to ask somebody who knows about physics about it now.
Yeah, now
It's like
Who
real
knows
deep
about
physics.
Physics pissed me off.
Because like now, the more I'm thinking about it, like I think like you wouldn't have to create a suction because if space is a natural vacuum and it would just create a suction itself. But at the same time, I don't know if the same thing will happen if you poke a hole in the atmosphere and just have a continuous hole.
But wouldn't atmosphere form around the thing?
Well, if atmosphere forms around it, it defeats the purpose.
No, I mean like not over it, but like around the protrusion.
That's not the hole I'm talking about. I'm talking about the hole literally from the planet
Okay.
that releases the smoke into
What
whatever.
if you vacuum seal it? Like after you incinerate
I don't
everything,
know. That's why I said I want to
have another at the top
ask
that-
somebody about physics about it.
releases after you seal this one, and that's how you operate it. Incinerate everything.
I'm taking
Yeah,
notes,
I don't know
bud.
how that would work. Because I don't know how it would work. Like, because they say we have holes in our atmosphere now, but they're not like whole holes. So it's not like we're losing
And
anything.
not whole holes.
Yeah, like I don't
They're like
know
little
if
holes.
it because like if you're in like because when you're in space and you're in a pressurized vehicle and you poke a hole in it, all that pressure is released. And I don't know if that same concept will work for us. Because when we're inside of spaceships, when we're in space, we create an atmosphere for us to live in or survive in.
Makes sense.
And if our anything is punctured, we lose that pressure, and then, we can't deal in the situation anymore.
On to breaks.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Prison food.
Get your Bible out, Marcus.
I'm trying to see that sweet potato pie recipe. That's crazy.
I'm trying to understand why niggas eat breaks outside of prison. I'm trying to understand why niggas eat breaks inside of prison too, though. Neither one really makes sense.
So we
like-
get tired of eating the shit.
Nah,
It's just strange.
it's-
Like you said, you
it-
took all them random ass
'cause,
components
I
and was
could
just
have
like,
some ramen noodles for lunch, and then later I get a little hungry, want a snack. Then I got a bag of Fritos, and then maybe I want some tuna fish later and some crackers, but not all together.
you know
like I
how
said,
malnourished
With
a
honey,
prisoner is.
It was probably like
It's
for real,
fucking
for real. I
gross.
tried looking up like if there's any like history behind it. I couldn't find any history on it or anything like that. So like, I'm assuming somebody that was in prison for a long ass time came up with this shit. Because realistically, you'd have to be stuck in there for a long ass time to just do that shit.
Yeah.
Because like that's what I'm saying. Like you just got tired of eating the same shit. It's
And
like
they
I'm eating
food is,
ramen
like-
every day. I'm eating chips. I'm eating the same shit every single day and just threw all that shit together to see what it tastes like.
And the food that's
Niggas get
provided
creative.
in prison is so disgusting.
Does it taste different?
This nigga trying to figure out the science.
I mean,
of
I
the
don't
bread.
know how. Like, I'm assuming their cafeteria food is different from the actual like
It's
commissary,
terrible.
because commissary is like actual like canned food and
Yeah, like
Yeah,
someone
like-
buys
pay
it
for
for
yeah,
you.
packaged food and stuff like that.
But I guess what I'm saying is, whether I eat it by itself or all mixed together, I'm still eating the same shit every day.
Tastes different.
And that do it.
I mean, obviously, I'm assuming.
I don't think that's obvious. I mean, it's not like you added some different seasonings to this shit. You literally
Some
cooked
lemon pepper.
the ramen noodles, crushed up whatever chips of your choice, put them in there, and then added catfish or tuna fish, excuse me. Those don't mesh. You gonna taste each one distinctly in your mouth. They have different textures.
That's
and then
why.
never mind, I took that back. My
The
wrist said I never
Doritos-
tasted
the
one.
reason
I
they use the
tasted one,
Doritos-
and then the noodles ain't never done.
Oh, that works also. Doritos are more not like for texture or whatnot. They're originally like a cheese. It's like putting cheese on it. Because then it like okay, so I talk about what I'm talking about, so y'all know what I'm actually saying. Prodigy, after he got out of prison in 2016, well, when he got out of prison in 2016, he made a book, which was 6 years after he was released. It was a commissary cookbook, Prodigy's Commissary Kitchen. And what I was looking at gave me 4 of the recipes out of the book. And here go some of the recipes. You got peas, clean hands, sweet potato pie.
Yo, read that sweet potato pie recipe.
Basically, what it is graham crackers, canned yams, sugar, honey, and butter.
Where the fuck they get canned yams from?
That makes sense.
Commissary.
That's a sweet potato pie.
Yeah,
makes
that is a
sense.
I
sweet
thought it was
potato
about
pie.
to be crazy. Like,
That makes sense. All y'all did was substitute the bread crust for graham crackers.
Mhm.
Okay, that's normal.
this
And
break
Y'all
shit.
that to break is like, how did we get here?
what I feel like, all right. When I get to the break, I'll explain it.
It's funny.
All right, and then he got peas, prison pot stickers,
gross.
which are ingredients: elbow macaroni, vegetables, canned vegetables,
Did
butter.
you say ingredient? Oh,
Yeah, butter, hot sauce, salt,
What's the how
Wait,
they
what's
put the
that
where they
called?
put the pot sticker stuff in?
pot stickers.
So they have wontons.
No, they use the macaroni.
What?
All right,
It's
so
little.
this is his directions for using it, right? Boil macaroni in the microwave. Of course, you know they ain't got ovens for real.
Yeah, they ain't got pots and pans.
Until it, you know when you overcook pasta and it gets
It
like
get
real,
mushy, yeah.
basically until it gets like that, and you roll them into little balls, creating small dumpling pockets. Put the vegetables in them, hot sauce, soy sauce, whatever you got. Brush them with butter. Toast for 3 minutes.
Yo, shout out to Melanin for making us the most creative motherfuckers on the block. That's crazy.
He said some.
this nigga, why are you
He
looking
said
like that?
some dudes used to actually make the dumpling batter with wet bread, but he said that shit look nasty, so he ain't cook it that way.
Are you okay? Tony, are you okay? Cause you looked hella constipated. I ain't gonna lie. From watching it.
that makes sense too. I'm not eating it, but it makes sense. It's still better than a break.
Prison sangria.
Yeah, I
That
heard
sounds
that.
like piss water.
You know they got all the fruits and all that whatnot. Sugar, bread, you know, it's liquor essentially. And peas don't try this at home prison surprise. That's his break. That's what he calls his break.
Ugh.
But his is real simple. Like what I feel like happens is everybody has like different variations on it, and people put their own shit in it to make it taste however they like it
Yeah.
and whatnot. But cause like his ingredients is like just basic. It's ramen, Doritos, tuna and hot sauce.
Oh, I didn't know tuna was basic, but I knew the other stuff was basic.
Yeah, summer
shit.
sauce. Like I said, it varies on who makes it and who's making it and whatnot. Like I said, he like in this he says, you make the ramen.
The salt content on that bad boy.
Pretty much
God.
Doritos make like a cheese sauce once they crushed up, and then you add in your fish, it's like your meat with some hot sauce. It's like a tuna casserole kind of. Yeah. So that's Prodigy's break. But like I said, I feel like it varies and just differs from prison to prison, person to person, to be honest, depending on how they feel and what they want.
Yeah, I don't want to go there. I'm gonna be real honest.
So like I'm not doing that.
Just because of the food alone, like that don't really sound like a good time.
And then if you ain't got no commissary money, now you eating cafeteria food. I don't even want to know what that's like.
Clearly, we know what it's like, and I'm not agreeing with a lot of those things. I'm just not cut out.
I don't want it. I don't deserve it, and
I don't deserve it.
That's
right, King. Recognize your worth. Recognize your worth.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Self-love is high over there.
Oh shit! I was supposed to talk about why women always want to take down a man's masculinity.
Come on, because my topic was what it is to be a man. What do you guys think about that? So that ties in. Which one you want to start with first?
We can do what it is to be a man.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Is there a defining moment in your life was like, I'm a man now? Or have y'all seen somebody who was like, I'm modeled after that, and that's what it means to be a man? What have you guys seen? I'm curious.
I don't think there's a universal definition for that.
Yeah, no, that's why I asked you personally. What did it mean to you? Or is it basics that you would see in like every man?
I guess when I say I don't think that there's a universal definition, I mean like I don't feel like there's anything. I don't look at it as like, oh, I do this because I'm a man. I just like do things because I feel like I'm supposed to do them, but not because I'm a man necessarily.
Okay, like what?
Work hard, be ambitious, want to leave a legacy.
Mm-hmm.
I do all those things just because like I feel like I'm called to do them. Like I don't necessarily feel like that's like man shit. Like I can feel like women could want to work hard and be ambitious and want to leave a legacy or like any of those things. So I just think it's, for me, it's like, I would say that I don't really see it as being a man. It's just like more of like, I guess being a man is living in your truth and being yourself. If I had to pick something, just be who you are and not like downplaying yourself and like, or denying who you are for the sake of like other people's like acceptance. If I had to like give like a general term of what I would say, like
it's an Amber Alert. So I looked at my phone like, the fuck? So your phone's going off.
Oh, where is it at? Where's Amber at? Where you at, Amber?
I'm assuming on the couch somewhere. So I'm like,
I think it's over here somewhere by me.
Oh well, I don't know where Amber's at right now, but fuck it. Amber be tripping.
I'm just really invested.
Nah, was it?
all right.
Yeah. Amber tripping again. I guess I better find Amber, bitch ass. Where you at, Amber? Y'all can keep talking. Marcus, what you think it means to be a man?
Huh. Well, off the top of my head, I don't think I really have an answer for that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do think it's like an individual thing. In the sense that, like, I feel like everyone has a different view of what it is to be a man. And, I do think a lot of people fall under or at least do believe in the overarching standards of just what it is to be a man. But I don't truly know how to define it, I guess,
Do you
in my
think
own
that y'all
words.
know the difference between like when y'all became from boys to men? Like, I realized when I actually grew up and stepped into, maybe, I guess, I don't know if you feel like manhood is a feeling, or if y'all can't define like some words that'd be like, okay,
I mean,
man
I
does
can't
this.
define it in words. I can, like, the moment where I really started to have to, like, support myself,
Mm-hmm.
I would really, truly see that me stepping into my manhood, at least for myself.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like when I started thinking about what womanhood was to me, and I started to see that just being responsible wasn't necessarily mean that I was a woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me, those just two separate things.
Well, it's not that. It's just that was me. That was the moment when I realized it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like my definition. It's just a moment when I looked at it and I'm like,
Oh, it's time to grow up. No one's
Yeah.
taking care of me no more.
yeah, it's not even like, and no one's taking care of me. It's like, I shouldn't have to depend or lean on people to take care of me. I should be able to walk on my own, if nothing else, you know.
It was no defining moment in y'all, or you just asked that. I don't know if you answered that question, Tony. If it was a moment where it's like, I'm not a boy anymore. I'm a fucking man.
I mean, probably take a lot of that shit for granted.
What?
Like, I don't really feel like I ever thought about like a transition of not being a boy into a man, but I feel like that's probably because I always felt like I was grown. Now
Mm-hmm.
I think that I've learned things from like me being 18 and being like, no, I'm grown, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do, to me being now 30 and being like, I'm gonna do what the fuck I want to do, but I'm also gonna have some reason, logic, and like wisdom behind it. So I mean,
So yours would
Maybe.
be, I don't have any restrictions. No one can tell me what to do. Is that would that be a fair statement to say about being a man?
no,
Okay.
because like I said, I don't feel like there's anything special about being a man, I guess.
Mm.
I think there's things special about being me,
Mm-hmm.
but like, I feel like anything that I could say that, oh, this makes me a man, a woman could also do.
Mm-hmm.
And those could be the things that she feels like that makes her a woman. And like, I don't think that just because I identify as those things that make me a man, that it takes away from her making her a woman. So I feel like it's more so things that just make me me. Like, I recognized that I was more mature when I wanted to start taking care of people.
Mm-hmm. That's a
And-
good one.
But I don't think that made me a man. Like,
No.
no.
Mm-mm.
Like, it just, at a different stage. I just look at it as like natural progression. Like, I was younger, I was on bullshit, I was kicking it, I was short-sighted.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, you can't have foresight if you don't know shit.
True.
So, you gain foresight after bumping your head on a couple of shit and be like, been in this situation before, I kind of know what it looked like. Oh, I know where this is going. And so, but other than that, I don't really think that there's been a point that I was like, oh, this is some real, like, man shit. Like, like, no, I just, like, I moved out when I was 18. So, like, I've always kind of been on, or wanting to be on my own. I left when I was turning 20, about to be 21. I lived in Seattle for 5 years by myself. So, me being on my own or, like, independent
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
really
one thing.
signify
Yeah.
me, like, being a man. It's just, I feel like people decide to become independent when they want to. So,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that makes you more or less of a man. Like, not to contradict with Marcus, because I feel like each person has their own, like I said, their own, like, definition of, like, all right, these are the things that I feel like have brought me to a, I think being a man or becoming a woman is you recognize you're in a more mature place, because that's all that realistically changes. I'm not doing the same quote unquote kid shit that I was doing before. So now I feel like I'm in a different stage. So now I'm a woman now, because I don't see the party, the kick it life. I take more ownership in stewarding my child's life, being like a mother, being responsible for myself, or I take more ownership in like wanting to care for and make sure that my family is good and everybody is solid, just all the way around the board, and not just myself. So I just think that's like you're reaching a new level of maturity.
You know, outside of just like my personal thought on it, I feel like off of what you were talking about, just maturity, it's not like just thinking of it in the sense of like manhood or womanhood nowadays is more or less just like dated thinking, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense that like back then being a woman meant doing this or being like this. Or like you can take like what's this 2020? Oh god. I gotta jump so far back now. 70 years.
Okay.
Yeah, think about like 60, 70 years, right? So now, like being a man back then was you supporting your family, you having a job, you being stable, you taking care of everything, and then you being a woman back then was taking care of the family on the back end, right? And that defined like what it was to be a man and what it was to be a woman. Nowadays, there's no line there. There's no clear definition. So, like he was saying, the same thing in which
There's no even economical opportunity for that to be an option for real.
yeah, so like at this point, it's like the things that we looked at as being a man once upon a time is something that everyone can grasp. So at this point, it's like it's more about being mature than being a man or a woman.
Yeah, I think that's detrimental to y'all more specifically, that there is no defining line anymore. Like he said, that he don't even feel like being a man is quote unquote special. Maybe at one time it felt like, I don't know, I ain't gonna say that, but there's no defining line because we inherently different. You know what I'm saying? My strengths would, I guess we complement each other, and in saying that there's no defining, there's the lines is just blurred now. Do y'all think that's detrimental to y'all, or do y'all think that helps y'all? Because I ain't gonna say y'all didn't have a clear answer, but just from what y'all saying, like there's no nothing now. There's no nothing that like, y'all both could get it. A man and woman could both go after the same thing now if they want, but realistically, should we be going after that same thing?
Well, I guess nowadays,
Yes.
yes, you like you said, yes, you should be going after those things, but you also have the option now.
I mean, I say
I
that
guess.
realistically, back in the day, the things that made you a man were based off of societal needs.
Is it not still that way today?
I mean, but if societal needs change, then what it means to be a man has to change. It can't be oh, I'm paying for everything, I provide all of this. Like I said, realistically, economically, just to start off, doesn't look like that for just a vast majority of people in general. Like, you could get a good paying job making $60,000 a year, and you still might not be able to pay for you and somebody else's total life. And then y'all kids, y'all 2.5 kids and a dog, like, and put them through college off of that 60,000. That's not really realistic.
Once upon a time.
I mean, yeah, once upon a time, that's good money. You gonna hold your whole family down. You big pants in the house. You
Not
big
to
stick,
not
big
to go
swinging.
too far off, but think about this, right? You remember that show, Married with Children? That nigga supported a whole family,
Checking out that shoe store.
and he sold shoes in a women's shoe store.
Right.
That was in the 90s, like late 80s, early 90s. Shoe store salesman supporting the whole family. All right, continue.
Yeah. So I just feel like since there's less opportunity for that to be the case, it's just on a general spectrum. So yeah, you're gonna get your people who are making, like you said, your one percenters, making $150,000 a year. You can probably finance you and your wife and a kid's life. But realistically, You gonna finance their college, or are they gonna be in debt for that? They're probably gonna be in debt for that. So you're not really financing everything like you were before. So even at that level, it's a decline in what you can really do. Millionaires now are the ones that can finance the entire life.
Mm-hmm.
But just off of roll of the dice, and we can like survey the people we know, it's not going to be everybody is a millionaire. So y'all both probably going to have to work. So if you work, it makes me less of a man. In your eyes, there's nothing really that I can do about that. That's how society is set up. But certain people don't want to acknowledge that, okay, society's changed, and what's required of both individuals has changed now.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like maybe being present now is more of what it means to be a man. Being present in your children's life, since that's clearly a societal issue. So maybe the correction to that is, and what it means to be a man is, hey, be present in your kids' lives.
I was gonna say
shit like that, shit that we aren't doing, like the shit that's needed. It was needed because women couldn't work, weren't getting jobs that were going to pay them a wage that they could live off of or realistically do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So you take care of the kids. I'm gonna work. I'm gonna be able to make a decent wage that's going to be able to support us, and we're going to be able to run the household that way. We're going to be a team. But the way to be a team now is probably to be together as a family, which isn't really happening. So maybe that's what it looks like to be a man. Taking care of your responsibilities, being present, shit like that.
Well, what I was gonna say is, like, when it comes to like things of that sense, the definition of a man actually like kind of kicks back in, cause like relationships, there's a definition within that. Being a father or just being you have children, then like I can somewhat give you a definition of a man then. But like just in general, just out there in the world, you free, you ain't got no like links or nothing, it's different. And when it comes to like being married, having a family and shit like that, there's kind of like lines of definition that kind of runs even if y'all are both like working and doing all these things, there's still things that falls on you as a man being in that situation.
That's true.
Now, like I said, but outside of that, it's completely different.
Cool.
Because at that point, you're like, it talks about what you were talking about. Y'all complement each other. Y'all working together at this point. So now, you're a unit.
So what do y'all think about the term toxic masculinity? How can masculinity be toxic? Do you believe that masculinity is toxic? What does that mean?
I don't believe in...
What the fuck was that?
Toxic masculinity makes me mad.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because, like, all right, I understand what toxic masculinity is.
What is
But
it? Let's just explain that for somebody that don't know.
there are so many things that fall up under that. Like,
Right, people
So
didn't
my
put up
issue
under.
is that it's a general term. So what I feel like toxic masculinity should be toxic. Wow, yeah, toxic. Should be is maybe you aggressively harassing a woman while she's walking past you, or while y'all are at sharing a space in a club, library, wherever. The situation you talked about with your daughter and the random nigga, that could be toxic masculine. The fact that you feel like it's acceptable and just okay to approach me while I'm with my child. I don't know you. This doesn't make me feel comfortable. I don't want my child to see me interact with you in a way that's not motherly.
Mm-hmm.
So regardless of what you want, that's not going to happen. So that could be toxic. So I can see things like that. But I feel like women be like, oh, you sitting with your legs open is toxic masculine. I'm like, So we just going to say anything that men do is toxic? Or are we going to really like focus on the things that men are doing that are issues?
Mm-hmm.
So I have an issue when it's generalized and it's just like men are the issue. So cool. If you don't like men, just say that.
Right.
right.
But if you really want to talk about the shit that men are doing that is fucked up, we can do that as well. But it's got to be one or the other, because I'm not going to sit here and let you just shit on men like outright, because I don't think we deserve that either.
No. I mean, like, what the things that fall under the definition of what they define as toxic masculinity would be things that, like, essentially, like you said, just are just traits within men, just like general things that are just like basically, like I said, I wish I still had the list I had that like literally broke down, or just like gave me a whole. It was like 10 or 15 different traits that men have that are just fall under toxic masculinity, like
Yo, that
being
list gotta be gross.
not being aggressive, being like ambitious.
What?
Yeah, being ambitious. I like we talked about this like it was so long ago. It was
Yeah, I
like
gotta
stupid
look
shit. I'm
that
like,
up.
so everything
Google
that
it?
separates, yeah, you probably can find a list. Like I like it's just like it was so crazy to me because I'm like, this is everything literally
That men are.
that men are. So you want us to be women. And like I was flipping out, and I remember about it. I remember flipping out about it because I was like, "Oh, so how would you feel if your man if somebody ran up on y'all, and y'all was like walking down the street or something, and this dude ran up and give me your money, or like he just ran up on y'all and just tried to like do something to you, right? You his woman, and instead of like stepping in front of you and trying to be like defensive, he jumps behind you like, oh my god,
Yeah, because
you feel some type of way, right?
yeah, what
So-
I saw.
That's what y'all want. That's what y'all toxic masculinity strips everything and that's what you get.
That's why I don't be down with the feminist movement, because the things that I like about men, they keep saying that men shouldn't be. Like, I get it. Like, when you had the club whatever scenario, I'm not gonna say I'm like, oh yeah, touch my ass while we're in the club. That makes me feel real safe. That is not okay. But I also understand that men could be how do I say that shit? I also understand y'all nature. I'll just say that. And how sometimes you could just be driven by it, like that animal instinct. And I guess for me is if you don't understand where they coming from, and if you don't just, like I said, everything that a nigga might do is not okay in terms of sexuality, or in terms of just us dealing with each other on a sexual front. Like, I get it. But the things that make men inherently men, they keep saying that it's not okay. And I'm like, yeah, sometimes it can get on your nerves, but I'm sure I do things that get on a nigga's nerves all the time. And no one holds women accountable for their toxic femininity. No one ever holds us accountable for being like a shitty female. Or just, like I said, first of all, just being over emotional is detrimental to you in a myriad of ways, and no one ever talks about that. It's like, I get it, like I'm supposed to feel what I feel, and I'm a big person that didn't feel what she felt, so me being over emotional was like a step in a different direction. But the chick that's quote unquote crazy, that's toxic femininity right there.
It says suppressing emotions or masking distress, maintaining an appearance of hardness, violence as an indicator of power, think tough guy behavior. Okay, so that was 3 things. I'm trying to find lists, and it is really hard to get these motherfuckers to
It
pin
really
down.
You
is.
see, like how they try
It's
to
so
treat
vague.
it, like how they could just say like anything is toxic masculinity. That's a good point. When you Google it, you don't even get a direct fucking answer. Where's the
Nope.
list,
Yeah.
feminists? Where'd you got the list at?
Yeah, like I'm really looking like shame and disassociation and avoidance of emotional expression, extreme self-reliance, extreme aspirations for physical, sexual, and intellectual dominance, devaluation of women's opinions, body, and sense of self, condemning anything feminine within another man. So, couldn't the bottom one just be homophobia?
Yeah.
Why is that? It's assigned to men. Like, women can be homophobic and condemn anything feminine within another man. I get the devaluation of women's opinions, bodies, and sense of self as a broad stroke. Okay. That one sounds like the touching the ass in the club. And like, I get it. I'm probably going to approach you in a club and speak to you. I don't know you. but I saw you and something said go talk to her, and I did.
Mm-hmm.
Now if you say no, I gotta take that no and then move it on. Now I think it gets toxic if you don't know how to take rejection.
Mm-hmm.
I think that can turn toxic, because then now you're not in control of like yourself. And while we have our instincts, it's cool to like go off of them, but you can't just live off your instincts.
No. You
Yeah,
have to
I
be in
think the
control.
men instincts like inside your head is way gross. Like, I'm gonna say that.
That shit nasty.
Yeah, y'all nasty as fuck. for real.
Whatever.
It's
I
very
get
focused.
it. I totally get
Ain't nobody ask your opinion.
What is extreme self-reliance?
I guess I don't need just pride. I guess I'm trying to say that maybe.
Like I depend on myself and don't think I can depend on other people. I don't.
Maybe asking for help. I
You know,
don't know.
You know what toxic masculinity is?
What?
Us waking up.
Breathing. Why are you over there breathing? Stop breathing like that. It's too harsh. Why do you keep doing
All right,
that?
I'm gonna try toxic masculinity examples,
Bro, I'm trying.
bro.
You see, like how, like now it's just vague as fuck. Like, what is it? And then any woman can say, like, you're being toxic. Masculinity is toxic. Anyone can say that,
Okay.
and that's crazy. But
Okay. So what do we these harmful ideas?
Yeah, we just
Something about rape culture.
mm-hmm.
What is rape culture? What is rape culture to you as a woman?
I don't know what the fuck that shit is.
Mm.
I don't. Every time I hear it, I'll be like, is it at a, like, what is that rape culture? Because it sounds like a group of people that contributed to it. But I don't know rapists that get together and be like, hey guys, this is our, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you have Hispanic culture.
They're not as bold as the pedophiles.
Yeah, like you have Hispanic culture, you have pedophile culture. Like, them niggas get together and do things. I never see that with rapists. So that's what that kind of means for me. But I think it leaned on more the terms of, oh, because she was wearing a skirt, she deserved it. I think that's what it was saying.
Oh, okay.
But I don't think that. But I think that's what rape culture is.
That might be what it is. I don't know. I
Or
don't
just
actually
like those
know.
things that we say.
So like rape apologists, the ones that like apologize, be like, oh, you shouldn't have been doing that. That's why you got raped. Those people. Is that rape culture?
I believe so.
I guess so.
Okay.
That sounds
So I found
right.
another. It says, so what are some real life examples? And this is what this guy said.
About what? Rape culture or masculinity?
Toxic masculinity, and I want to see if y'all feel the same. He said that in his early 20s, while he was in the bathroom at this club, a guy bursts out of the cubicle or the stall and shouts to his homies like, "Are we gonna wash our hands? Or are we fucking blokes?" And so I'm not really sure what blokes means in like London.
Little bloke.
But I guess it's some type of derogatory feminine term, because after that it's like, because not having poop hands would be undarably womanish, of course. And I'm like, I don't know if that's toxic. How is that toxic? Is toxic masculinity telling jokes to your friends in like a private space?
That's what they can label it as.
Technically.
Clearly, y'all didn't have no definitive list.
Technically.
I'm so confused.
That would be an example of toxic masculinity.
All right, so I think this year we should get guests.
We should get what?
Guests, because I
Yeah.
got questions.
Hell yeah.
Like, I want a feminist, like a hardcore feminist to come here, because I'm just confused. I would just really like to understand, what exactly is it?
That we do. That is so toxic.
Yeah.
Because this shit was, I mean, I don't even gonna say that. Because feminism has been along for a long time. But, like, even, like, young boys, like, they can't be themselves and be rambunctious without somebody telling them, like, That's wrong. That's so bad. Like, you shouldn't do that. It's getting out of hand. And I just be wondering, like, what the fuck? What am I supposed to do? How am I supposed to navigate this fucking world? Like, I get it. I'm not about to be attracting a male feminist. That's not gonna be in my bag, but it's just making things a lot harder. Like, god damn. What if I want a little toxic masculinity? Did nobody ever ask?
So the Houston press called dude wipes toxic masculinity.
Because it's geared towards men.
Yeah. Talk about they didn't want the more fairer sex, the ones that are kind of girly, I guess, that women and children use.
But nigga wipes gotta have nigga sense. I mean, men's sense. I don't want to smell like a dude.
They're using toxic masculinity to, like, trying to basically even the playing field, make everything the same.
Yeah, it's gonna be like this unisex monotone, this weird, like, wearing a dress probably gonna be fucked up at one point. Like, wearing bright colors, that's not neutral. As a woman, this is for me, as a woman. Like, I might have to wear pants a lot, and I'm not a big fan of pants. I don't be liking monotone colors a lot. Like, I fuck with black heavy. But then it's like, when I go shopping, like, ugh, think about it. We're going to have the same underwear. It's fucking strange. Like, bras going to be obsolete. Like, why do you need to wear a bra? Whoa, bitch. These big ass motherfuckers going around here. Need some shapewear. Like, everything that you define is, like, manly going to be taken away from you. And everything that I define is, like, womanly is going to be taken away from me if we continue down this fucked up path of trying to shame one and not really examine the other side.
I mean, yeah. Essentially.
Ugh.
I mean,
I don't like it.
I don't know. It's
Future's not
I can't
bright.
find anything for it.
There's no definitive list, so they can just make shit up on y'all whenever they want to.
Oh, I don't
I'm
like
sorry.
him. I don't like what he doing.
So they're mad that we would like space on either side of us, not to. So I'm reading the Houston Press, and they said dude seating was an issue.
Dude sitting?
Ooh,
Dude
yeah.
seating, basically men.
When dudes sit like this.
No,
Oh.
no, not that. That's man spreading.
Uh-huh.
Dude seating is like, let's say we go to the movies, and you know how we're not gonna sit right next to each other. That's an issue. That's toxic. I like space. I want to spread my legs. He gonna spread his legs. That's not comfortably up against each other.
Yeah, and the guy, a straight dude don't want to touch another straight dude. Usually.
That's an issue if we don't want to. They're like, because their example was this DJ that rented out a movie theater for Metallica screening in response to all women screening Wonder Woman. And they're like, women went there to go celebrate the movie together and sit next to each other, but clearly guys need space. Why does it matter?
Mm-hmm.
If we want space, why is that an issue? If y'all don't want space, why is that an issue? I just don't understand. Like, man caves are an issue?
That's what I'm saying.
Bruh.
How could you
Man cards are an
when
issue?
you don't have to man?
Okay. So basically, this is what I found after this. I'm done with fucking shit. But so
This will make my hair hurt.
basically, it's a suppression of emotion. They believe it toxic masculinity creates context, insisting boys and men not to show emotion. That's one. Encouragement of violence. I'm pretty sure y'all can catch that from that. The discouragement of seeking help. It's not a manly thing to ask for help.
Wait a minute. They saying that it's
These
toxic to ask for help or not ask for help?
All these are masculinity traits that are toxic.
To say that you don't want help. Okay.
Yeah, these things are what's toxic and passing
But what
these
if
on.
you don't want help?
I'm just.
I was gonna ask that, but I'm like,
So you can't not want help and not.
The
Continue.
perpetuation of rape culture. So man jokes and shit like that. Homophobia.
All right, so I'm gonna admit something.
Mm-hmm.
Me and my friends back in the day used to tell terrible jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of my friends, I'm not gonna say their name, used to have this one joke, and he was like, he would always start it off with, like, talk about his girlfriend complaining, and he'd be like, if I'm not being there for something, I'm being there for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Shit would be hilarious. That's toxic masculinity.
Yes.
He's never hit a woman a day in his life.
That be considered toxic masculinity.
He's like
'Cause
the
you're
most
perpetual and
gentleman that a woman could ever hope to be with.
Well, they would consider it as toxic masculinity because you're perpetuating the idea of violence.
But it's y'all violence that protects us. Like, I don't understand that.
But we
not
weren't
violence
talking
towards
about
me.
being. We aren't violent. We can't make. The reason the joke is funny because it's inappropriate.
Right.
We
I'm
all
telling
understand that it's inappropriate and that it's not going to happen.
That's what
but
makes
that's
it funny.
what makes it funny. And I don't.
And the last one is misogyny.
Misogyny. Magic.
It teaches, basically, it says that toxic masculinity teaches that men are in charge and women are not.
I almost said something wild.
And that men lead and you should just follow and do what we say. So, yeah, those are some things that toxic masculinity, they say, comes about with that also.
I'm not listening to a group of niggas, but I'll listen to the man that I've entrusted to be with me, to lead somewhere. Not a group of randos. Nah, that's weird.
I don't think.
I agree to that. But the man that I choose to be with, I'll give you my opinion on things, but at the end of the day, yeah, you would have to stand on your 2 feet and hopefully lead us in a good direction. Hopefully.
Shit, I was supposed to about that. How do y'all? Oh, so since we're on this topic,
Mm-hmm.
y'all know who Big Gimp is?
Who?
Big Gimp.
No.
Yeah.
He is a member of the Dungeon Family or UGK.
He's not UGK. He's,
Someone in Atlanta. Big Gimp's a OG Atlanta artist, and he came out saying with the flyer that had a picture of a man and a woman and holding a baby with an umbrella that was protecting them from a rainbow that said, "Let's not all forget we came from this. Let's have a we should have a heterosexual pride
Goody
month."
Mob.
Goody Mob.
Yeah, he was with, Goody Mob.
Dungeon Family. Goody Mob's Dungeon Family. That's So I was like, I know it's one of the cliques, and I don't know why I said UGK because they're Houston.
Cause like as soon as you said his name, I saw him, and then I saw him in this color ass fit, and I'm like, who was he standing next to? And in my mind, it was CeeLo.
CeeLo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so he said that they should have basically a straight pride month.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was lots of backlash against that. Basically, in the tune of that's kind of similar to like there should be a white pride month.
It's like basically people mad because it's like him saying all lives matter.
Yeah.
In a sense.
And so I get that that's an issue, but my thing is, playing devil's advocate. Let me put that out there. Is it wrong to want to have? Yes, you can say that every day is White History Month if you really want to, but it's not. If you want to be technical, because on Black History Month, every day we do something very specific and special about this. All the other time, we're just learning about whoever. There's nothing specifically geared
towards white people.
Yeah. So, is it wrong if they're like, we want something that's specifically just ours? Is it wrong to want something that's specifically yours, even if you're the dominant thing? Like, is that inherently a bad thing?
I feel like in the situation, even with him, like, right? It's like, well, would you want it if we didn't have it?
For many years they didn't, so it wasn't really nothing to celebrate. And I think
And
that's
no
the
one cared.
point,
Y'all
right?
didn't care until we had it.
That's
So
the point
realistically,
the motherfuckers trying to make. Like, how you
and I
get
feel like,
gay
I mean,
Pride Month and I don't get Pride for me?
nigga, you didn't
being
care if
straight.
you had it before it was a gay pride month. So like, why do you care now?
I mean, but just to continue to play devil's advocate, if we're going to go with the tune of equality, that's not equality.
What?
What you just
That
said.
we didn't get straight Pride Month.
If we're talking about equality,
Mm-hmm.
then I should be allowed to celebrate my pride for my sexuality just in a way that you are able to celebrate your identity.
Yeah, you are.
Then what's wrong with me having a month?
I mean, no one said you couldn't have a month.
But then why are people upset about it? That's my thing. So just to play devil advocate, I
I
can
understand.
I can see people being mad.
I get what you're saying.
Because
I understand.
Obviously I don't agree with Big Give. I don't think that there needs to be obviously a White History Month or a Straight Pride Month or a Male History Month. I really don't think those, because I mean we do get them all the time, and I don't feel like I'm lacking in like knowledge or representation, but I could argue that we lack in celebration.
Well, I don't think it should be a gay Pride Month either. Because what are you proud of? You proud of that you fuck somebody? The same thing for me. I'm not proud that I fuck someone of the same sex. Do I think those laws that should be removed that prevent people that like to have sex with or like homosexual relationships? Yeah, they should get their shot at marriage and whatever else they should. But a gay Pride Month, I don't think they I don't think that is relevant to have one.
I think that their pride comes from the ability to be able to express it now, and not from the actual like act of it.
And see, that's my
It's
thing.
like, I'm
though,
proud
right?
to be able to say that I am this out in the open and not be killed, at least on this one day.
And against what you're
Hopefully.
saying with the whole devil's advocate, like you playing devil's advocate, right?
Yeah.
And that's my point right there. Like that can go right back to what I was saying. It's like, okay, we have these months for reasons though. Like for the same reason that, like you said, their pride. They're celebrating their pride and all the shit that they've been through to get to where they at. And now they're here and that's what they're celebrating. You just want one because of what? What are you celebrating? Like, did you have anything to get here? Like, Black History Month is for a reason. Gay or gay pride or pride is for a reason. Like, y'all had a struggle to get there, and now y'all celebrating y'all freedom. Like, black people were celebrating our freedom. That's
We
all
want to
the shit
celebrate
we
our
went through.
tradition.
I guess realistically, if you want to celebrate White Pride Month, they could say that.
Okay, here's my
Tradition
thing.
is worth
This is why
celebrating.
people are mad. For the same thing I said, people are mad because they feel like you only want to do it now because we doing it.
Oh no, I get it.
And like that, and that's the whole reason I feel like it's behind it, because it's like it doesn't feel genuine, because now you're like, well, it just seems like you hating. That's what it seems like.
I mean,
It seems like you like, oh, they got that and I want it too, and that's all it is. It's not for like you're not really celebrating nothing. You're like, oh,
Well, they're
I'm
trying to
celebrating
prove a
me
point
being
that one
straight.
shouldn't exist. Honestly, I don't think we should have a Black History
I
Month
mean,
either. I think it's all dumb.
should it be there?
well,
That's up for debate. But it's like,
But I guess I disagree with Ash, but I also disagree with you in a sense where I guess if my personal view is, I feel like why not have them both? And just for the sake of shut the fuck up. Because now it ends the conversation. Y'all have it. It's on this day. And that's it. And then there can never be another complaint about gay pride or Black History Month or anybody else's celebration because you have yours, so you have to be quiet. So that's my thing. It's like, you could just give it to them and be like, well, now shut the fuck up. Cause, no, you got what you wanted, so shut the fuck up. Because then you don't have to have a conversation anymore. Because then if they continue to argue, continue to have an issue, then clearly it wasn't about that.
What if
I
like
mean, it would just become an issue even more. Because now it's like, well, people are going to
But then now you can take the month away from them. Because clearly it wasn't about the month. It was about you not liking this. And so since it's not about the month, then we're not giving you the month, and we're not doing that anymore. And so they can cut their nose off to spite their face, or they can just take this little month and shut the fuck up.
what have gays and lesbians done for like the socioeconomic like platform? Like, what have they?
I don't know.
I would say a lot, but I don't have facts to speak on. Well, facts. I always feel like
black, you know what I'm saying? Niggas been inventing shit. Like we've done things.
Like I said, I don't know what
I
they've
would say
done
that it's
because
harder
Yeah,
to-
that's what I'm saying.
because
What are you
if you
proud
look at-
of?
if you look
Like,
at the- if
just
you look
but,
at
because.
but like I said, I think I'm
It's not
proud
about-
that I can be
You
myself.
can walk outside. Like,
Yeah,
I get that the
because-
social
Because-
stigma behind it.
But you
But,
also have to understand, like
That's
they've
what Black
been-
History Month is about. Being proud that you're black and you're free and you're able to go outside and not be lynched and look at a white person and
You
not
need
be
a
like,
month
damn.
for that? You know what I'm
I
saying?
mean,
You need a specific time cut out to the month for that? I don't understand none of that.
Well, like I said, like it's not like with them when it comes to them, it's not like because they've been through a lot of shit too.
Yeah,
But
so
it's not.
it's
it
just,
hasn't, it hasn't spanned as long as ours because I
it's just
think
the freedom. It's I
theirs
can
kicks
come
back
outside.
to like the '60s.
Like, should I have I have a manager or ex-manager, that used to tell me a story about how he used to go out to Lakewood because that used to be like a real high like homosexual population, and they used to just go beat them up. They used to go get drunk and just go attack them. So it's come from that to they have a place where they can be openly themselves and have communities that are relatively safe. Granted, there are a lot of like, well, I would say probably a lot of the violence has moved to the transgender community. And
But they still part of the same community.
no,
LGBT and the thing that
they're not the same
we've
communities.
championed for.
Yeah, but
all
they
right.
wouldn't be the same community because
I thought it was the.
so they're all on the spectrum. Yes,
They're all under the same.
they're all on a queer spectrum.
Yeah.
But realistically, there's a lot of like animosity between gays and transgenders, especially between male to female transgender women and gay men.
So they not unified.
No, they're not.
What group
So
is?
what are they proud of if they can't even hold themselves together? That's
I mean, but realistically,
you can say the
Ash,
same
you
thing
sound
about
like
black
a white
people,
person
so-
talking about us. What are we proud of
Yeah.
if we can't hold ourselves
I
together?
was about to say it sounds.
Let's go back to the same thing with Lizzo. If you over here twerking in the middle of a arena, what are you really proud of? What are you trying to say about yourself? Are you trying to say that you were once a victim? Like you trying to still play victim? Like you guys can't tell me and I got the space to do what I want? Or do you really feel proud of yourself where you can sit here and be like, yeah, I'm fat and whatever?
But I
Which
mean-
one? Which one?
But you can say that about some black people.
and
Are
I can
they
say that
proud?
about Irish slaves too. They don't got no month.
Well, there's not enough of them here for anyone to care to
But
make.
they
a
can still
month.
vouch for that they would want one. I just don't see the point of having any month because if you're really proud of something, you don't have to show the world that you're proud of it.
But that's not what the
But-
month was about. It's not about showing. That.
What was it to say like, oh, you
It's-
guys
it's-
were
it's
so
because we're
victimized
free.
that we had to take this
like,
little
for
space.
like Black History Month. It's looking back on our history. It's
Yeah.
it's reflecting on what we
Why
came
does
from.
the world need to look back on our history? They don't even go back to tell the
It's
real
not the
fucking
world. It's the
history.
United States.
All right,
It's
why do
us.
we need to do that when they
Because
only
it's
show
our
this
history.
small? And then during that Black History Month, they only showed a small margin of what we are. When I brought up the fact that we actually created a lot of the mythology that y'all claim to be white, y'all looked at me like I was funnier than a motherfucker. I'm like, yeah, y'all know that shit was all ours. This whole entire planet is ours. Why do we only get that small margin of things? We only go back to Rosa Parks. We only go back to MLK. We don't ever get to explore our richness in the entire fucking world. And we
Because that's
hold on
not
to that
our
shit.
country's history. Black History
Our
Month,
country
our
history
country
even go
history.
back farther than
But
that. Who do you
that's-
think brought white people here? Moors. They never tell nobody about
Because
that.
we don't know about that.
You can pick up a book and read about it, and you can choose what you.
Okay, that's fine.
Mhm.
That's all fine. But at the end of the day, that's not our history. Like,
that's a part of it.
it's
though.
part of it, but it's not our country's history. Our Black History Month talks about our country's history and black people within the United States and our coming up in the
We
country,
wouldn't have no country
and everything
without
we
that
did.
specific thing
Okay,
that I just mentioned.
I get that, but that goes back past our country's history. That goes way back past like religion. That goes way back past all that. That's world history. That's a whole nother situation. It's a whole nother. It's just different. Because like when you get into that, now you're talking about world history. You're talking about a whole nother. I know about shit. Everything. I know where everything started. I know where everything came from. So I'm not diving back that far. That's not what I'm talking about.
No one ever does this except for us in this specific country. No one ever has like a Somali History Month. Like it don't ever happen.
That's not true.
But with us, do you know what I'm saying? There has to be propaganda behind having specific months to celebrate things. I ain't gonna say it's small, but in reality, when somebody else want it, they can't have it. I don't understand.
It's not that they can't have it. They're not trying hard enough to get it.
So White
Like-
Pride Month, if we had White Pride Month, y'all would be so mad.
If
Like,
white
no,
people,
let 'em
but
have
here's
it.
the thing though: if white people had white pride, if white people really wanted a White Pride Month, they get it. They don't really want it. All the people that's like, oh, give me a straight Pride Month. Oh, give me a white Pride Month. Y'all don't really want it because all these months that we have, they fought for that shit. They fought for their right to have their freedom to do whatever the hell they want to do. If y'all really wanted a white month, y'all would get together and do the same shit and get y'all a white month. If y'all really wanted a straight month, y'all get together and protest and do and put in or do whatever the hell you have to do to get to that process. Y'all don't really care. Y'all just running y'all mouths because somebody else got it and y'all feel some type of way about it. If y'all really want it, y'all put in the work to get it. But no one cares that much. It's just like when something happens and it was like, oh yeah, we all show our support. Do you really? Or are you just following the bandwagon?
That's true. I can agree with you there.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So what now? Are we done? What's going on?
I mean, they all have months.
I don't know what you just said.
They have months.
Oh.
There's a Irish American Heritage Month,
Yeah, which month is that?
March.
Who are they celebrating at here?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a National Hispanic Latino Heritage Month, September 15th to October 15th. There's a National American Indian Heritage Month. It's November, which is really fucked up. Like, how y'all gonna make Thanksgiving time, the time that y'all really like massacre these people, they month? Y'all are wild, but I guess
That is really fucked up.
there's an Asian Pacific American History Month. There's a Jewish American History Month. Those are both in May.
That's never marked on the calendars. I don't never see that shit. I wonder why.
Because it's probably not important unless it applies to you.
I feel like
I never heard my Jewish friend be like, yo, Ash, it's Jewish History Month. This is what we doing this month. I've never heard him say that in my entirety of knowing him.
so. I would say
Ash, here goes some motherfucking
two things. I would say one,
crackers.
there's probably a time that they fought for it and wanted it, and two, it was probably a lot more important to us in just a celebratory way than it was to a lot of them, and that's why they don't really pay attention to theirs. It wasn't really a thing. I'm gonna assume that it came after Black History Month.
Do we really pay attention to ours though? Like, I never think about being gung ho for Black History Month, except for teachers who have to teach about that shit.
I mean,
it's a thing in the South. Like when I was in the South, it was
Come on,
big.
baby.
Or Juneteenth is a big thing. It's a big celebration.
Yeah, that's a day. I can see that. But I've never seen nobody be like, yeah, it's Black History Month, y'all. Let's celebrate.
I mean, I wouldn't say that
there's
they
probably
necessarily
people out there.
celebrate in like that way, but I would say that they do lots of things to like honor like their ancestors and where they kind of came from. But I wouldn't say necessarily like celebrate like in a party sense. That'd be kind of wild to celebrate.
No. We ain't got no
Like-
Cinco de Mayo.
And then this shit we celebrate in Black History Month is so fucking depressing. She sat on the front of the bus and not the back. Like, shut up. That shit is so corny to me now. Anyway.
She stood up for black people's rights back then.
She wasn't the first person to do it.
Yeah, but she was the one that got the show for it. I'm pretty sure she wasn't the first one to do it. Probably a couple people that got their ass beat.
You see how they
Being in
choose
the
to
front.
select people that's going to be the leaders for us?
Hey.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this shit don't make sense. Like,
I
you
mean,
just chose a leader.
Attention
Rosa
is world
Parks.
currency.
Eh.
If she was the one that was able to get the attention, which was the currency of the world and still is,
That shit wasn't by
that's just
mistake.
what it is.
Fuck Rosa Parks. No, just like,
I feel like we as a people have the ability to go and seek out the rest of the knowledge. So we can either be mad because our oppressors don't give us the knowledge that shows our greatness, or we could just be like, that's the trick bag.
mm-hmm.
Why am I mad about the trick bag? And I know that's the trick bag. That don't make no sense. Like, you niggas are never gonna be honest and keep it a buck with me about like who we are, where we came from, or anything like that. So why would I expect that from y'all?
And I guess that's my whole thing now is the whole adage, don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, nigga, you in the game. Start fucking playing. And that's why I don't understand an oppressor's point of view. Like, yeah, he an oppressor. Like, what you gonna do about it? You gonna sit there and talk about how oppressed you are? Or you gonna find out the rules of the game so you can win your bag? And that's why I don't really buy into the whole
But what's the
thing
issue with
anymore.
celebrating?
Hmm?
But what's the issue with
We
celebrating?
don't
the
really
month?
celebrate. We
Or
don't really
honor
do
it.
it.
I mean,
Honor, we recognize maybe, but do you need a month to recognize that? No, you don't. You don't need a month to recognize.
you don't need a month.
No one needs the month. Like, I don't need my iPhone. I don't need that bitch, but it's nice to have. I don't
know.
have to need to
It
wear
might be
makeup,
different if
but
you
it's
was that
cool.
person going through that shit back then.
Maybe it was important to them. I don't know, but I don't know. It was the people that was going through that champion for that month. How long has Black Mystery Month been a thing?
That's a good
You
question.
can Google. We all
I
got
know it's
phones.
older than me, so I gotta look.
One day we just went to school and was like, hey, Black History Month. Oh, all right.
Let me see. (1926).
1926.
Ooh, that was a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't an answer to
Mm-mm.
It was
it wasn't an answer to like segregation and shit like that.
No, it was. It probably was. Tool back
officially
then.
recognized in 1976.
Oh, niggas. Oh, so it was a reaction like, we deserve our own month.
Black History Month is an annual observation organized in the United States, where it is also known as African American History Month.
So realistically, it probably was
History.
a thing that black people were doing.
So it was
And it didn't
Negro
become
History
recognized.
Week in 1926.
Mm-hmm.
And when historian Carter G. Woodson, an associate of the study of Negro life and history, announced the second week of February to be Negro History Week. This week was chosen because it coincided with the birthday of Abraham Lincoln on February 12th and Frederick Douglass on February 14th, both of which dates black communities had celebrated together since the late 19th century.
And even if it could be, like, going back to your point about how that's war history, African is in our fucking title. So we
It
have to
shouldn't
include war
be.
history in the fucking...
It shouldn't be though, because like realistically, like okay, like what you were talking about, right? When I was
Mhm.
talking about like our history, it's different from that because realistically, even if all like with all that happening, our history stems from the people that ended up being brought over here,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what they're celebrating. Or like not even just them getting finally going through all the shit they were going through and them becoming free and being able to choose, or like it's free in the terms of what free was back then for a black man or a black person, and them being able to have the freedom to do what they want. They're not slaves anymore, and that growing into what it is now.
We do need a national identity. But I mean, yeah, we're African American, but like,
But what do that mean on the world stage?
what does that mean on like a real life stage? And you African. Like, sure, we can claim that we're connected to the Moors and shit like that, but like, unless we do the research, then we know the history, but we don't have no real connection to the lineage or any of like our homelands or anything like that, or any of their real traditions.
Mm-hmm.
We're so far removed from that shit.
Or the ability to engage with those traditions with other people and build community in that way, that it's kind of funny and ironic that we're African American.
Shit, Africans don't
You that
even look at us as
ambiguous
Africans.
ass fucking statement. Like, we don't even have an identity. And then I guess I ain't gonna talk.
I mean, to the rest of the world, we're Americans.
Yeah.
It's only in our country that we're African Americans.
Yeah.
Because like Africans, we're Americans. African,
yeah, like I don't
African
identify
what?
with no African.
No Africans
At
gonna look
all.
at
I
you
don't
like,
look
oh
at
yeah. They're not gonna look at you
Ubuntu
like,
and be like, yeah, my nigga,
brother. No, we not brothers. You
what
American.
is a nigga? Nigga, oh shit,
Nigga, you so far removed from me.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's like me walking up to a chimp like, hey,
What's
no,
up,
it ain't
bruh?
that serious. That's a deep separation.
What's up,
That's a little too
bruh?
much.
You give this nigga a banana, like.
All right, it's like a chimp and a gorilla. Like, hey, brother, nah.
Oh, so basically, black people also orchestrated the teaching of black history during that month or that week. So we kind of started it all.
Oh, okay.
That was kind of us.
And now I'm not going to say that it hasn't been whitewashed, but I would probably say that has a lot to do with segregation. And we could get into that, but that'd be a long conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I think segregation or desegregation fucked us up.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a strong believer in that. Yeah. So yeah, that's all I have. That was a randomly wild. Damn, this is 3 hours.
3?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
2:56.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's brazy.
All right, so we're not going to get into the segregation conversation. This has been Conscious Reconstruction. I don't know how we got randomly deep. Oh, I know what I'm calling this. Too deep for the intro.
Mm.
Yo.
All right, you got it.
All right, we out of here. Like, subscribe, all of that.
Intro.